Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. A 5-year-old blonde-haired boy was darting through the buildings trying to get to his apartment. He had blood running down his arm. He knew he got lucky this time, but if he didn't make it home soon he would get beaten again. He ran from the building he was hiding behind and was struck in the back of the head by a bottle. He fell down, and before he lost consciousness he was hit constantly and called everything from demon child to bastard demon child, and everything in between he could think of, and most he didn't understand. He woke up in the hospital. He didn't know how he got there or why he was there. All he knew was his body hurt badly. The door opened and the Hokage walked in. "Naruto, how are you?" he asked. "Saint, stay away FR from me," Naruto stuttered. "Naruto," the Hokage said, confused. "No street, stay away, why you are just like them," he cried out, moving away from the Hokage. The Hokage looked hurt. Naruto looked around for a way to get out. He saw the door behind the Hokage and knew he wouldn't be able to get past him, so he turned and ran to jump out the window. Lucky for him he was on the first floor, so he dropped only 2 feet from the tall floor-to-ceiling window in the hospital room. He ran, not knowing where he was going. He just ran wherever his feet took him. He turned and ran into someone, knocking him down on his butt. He quickly got up and muttered an apology. He looked up at the teen he ran into. She had black shoulder-length hair, red eyes, and was wearing a white dress with a red shirt. She smiled at him. Naruto's eyes widened when she smiled. "Oh no, I'm in so much trouble," he thought. She looked at the fear that was written all over his face and frowned. "Do he think I'm going to hit him?" she thought. She then reached out for him. He recoiled and shrank into the building, shaking with fear. "No. Please, I didn't mean to run into you," he stuttered out. She frowned. "Come here," she said. His eyes widened and he shook his head furiously. "Uzumaki, Naruto, get over here now," she demanded calm and sweetly to him. He hesitated and took a step closer to her. When he was within her reach, she pulled into a hug. Naruto froze at the contact and wormed his way out of her grip and ran. "What was that? Why didn't she hit me like everyone else? She knew who I was and still didn't hit me," he thought. He stopped and looked to see where he was and saw someone walking towards him, and they looked mad. He hoped they would keep going, but they stopped in front of him and punched him in the face. He fell down. The person punched him again and started to kick him. He continued to beat him. Naruto lost his consciousness. The boy threw another punch but was stopped by Naruto's hand. He opened his eyes and they was red slits instead of the normal blue. He kicked the boy and stood up, then punched him hard. The boy's eyes widened when he felt how strong the hit was. He forced himself up and ran away. A few feet away stood the head of the Hyuga clan, Hiashi, and his daughter. They saw the boy get beat into. He was unconscious, then he changed as if he was taken over by something. The girl looked concerned for him. "Otouto, why did they do that to him?" she asked. "You wouldn't understand," Hiashi said. "But Otouto, he can't be much older than me. What could he have done to get treated like this?" she asked. "No, Hinata, he didn't do anything. People just don't realize what kind of mistake they are making," Hiashi said. "You will never watch as people do this to him, will you?" she asked. "No, this disgusts me. The Hyuga clan will protect him to the best of our ability," Hiashi said. "Should we get him to the hospital?" his daughter asked. "Yes, let's." Hiashi then picked Naruto up and his daughter followed with tears for the boy that she saw only once, and he looked as if he was going to die. She thought about what she saw. "Otouto, why did his eyes change from blue to red like that? He don't have a bloodline, do he?" she asked. "No, he don't. I'll explain it to you once you're older. Just promise you will try to be his friend," Hiashi said. Naruto woke up a week later back in the hospital. "How did I get here again?" he asked himself, not knowing that someone was in the room. "So you only stutter when you're talking to other people?" asked a female's voice. He slowly looked to the side. "Who are you?" he stuttered. "You don't remember me. It's not like a lot of people have natural red eyes," she said, faking a hurt voice. Naruto's eyes widen. No street, stay away FR from me, he cried out. She blinked. What, I'm not even near you, she said. No th, those eyes they spin, he cried out. What spin? Tell me what you're talking about, she demanded. Red eyes th, they sp spin and th, then th, there is pain, he said. Do these eyes have black around the red, she asked. He slowly nodded, slowly moving as far away from her as possible. Look Naruto, my eyes are naturally red, I was born with them this color and I won't hurt you, she said. You can know who I am, he stuttered out. Of course I do, she replied. And you didn't hit me, he said. Damn villagers, she cursed. Naruto, you must get your rest so you can recover your strength. Are you hungry? She asked. Yes, I couldn't find any FFF food when I looked, he said. She looked confused. Looked, where do you look? She asked. Everywhere, behind buildings, garbage cans, alleys, wherever I can find FFF food, he said. She frowned. This poor child has to eat garbage, she thought. I'll take you out to eat, I know some people who don't mind you and will serve you, she said. Really? He asked. Of course, but you have to allow me to carry you, it will be faster, and by the way, my name is Yuahi Kurenai, she said. He thought for a minute, then slowly crawled over to the end of the bed closest to her. She smiled and picked up the 5-year-old. As she walked towards the restaurant, he buried his head into her shoulder. She smiled and walked into the restaurant and put him down. Naruto looked around and saw a lady. She looked younger than the one he was with. She smiled. Hello, how can I help you? She asked. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw the knife in her hand and hid behind Kurenai's leg. She moved aside. Can we get some ramen? She asked. Okay, course. Otouto-san, we have costumers, she yelled. Well, what can I get you? He asked, walking from the back. He saw Naruto and almost laughed. You look hungry, would you like some ramen? He asked. Naruto looked up confused at Kurenai, then at the Gigi. Just one bowl please, he never had it before, she said. Well then this one will be on the house, Tuki said. He came back with a bowl of ramen. Naruto looked, then sniffed it. He looked at Kurenai, then back at the ramen. He just looked at it thinking it was poisoned or something. Kurenai saw this and picked up the chopsticks. How about I try it first, she said. She took a little bit and ate it. See Naruto, it's not poisoned, she said. Naruto smiled and took the chopsticks from Kurenai and started to eat. When he was done, he looked at Kurenai. Caca, can I have more? He asked. Another bowl, she said. After Naruto finished the bowl of ramen, Kurenai made sure he was full and they left. She could see how tired he was and bent down to his eye level. Why don't you go home? I'll find you tomorrow to get you something to eat, he nodded. She hugged him and kissed him on the forehead. Naruto walked towards his apartment. Kurenai followed, stopped to see where he lived so she would know. When he stopped in front of a building that looked like it could fall on him, she frowned and walked up to him. Wait, you live here? She asked. Why yes this was all GGCC could get me, he said. Take me inside, she said. He slowly nodded and walked in. He went up 2 sets of dark stairs. Kurenai had a feeling that his apartment would be below living conditions. He walked up to a door and opened it. Normally one would have to unlock the door then turn the handle to open it. He just lightly pushed it and it swung open. Naruto, why is your door not locked? Kurenai asked. Well, I'm the only person living in this BB building. I don't have anything, and it doesn't lock or stay shut, he said. Kurenai looked around and saw that everything looked like things people threw out, and she could have sworn she threw that bed he had out a few months ago. She casually walked around making sure not to touch anything. She deeply scolded at how bad it was worse than she thought it would be. There was no hot water and the cold water barely came out the faucet. The stove didn't work, none of the cabinets had doors, the bathroom had a sheet for a door. She didn't even want to open the fridge as she was scared of what might jump out at her. Of all the furniture he had, only the bed looked usable. As she looked closer at the bed, she was now sure it was her old bed as she saw the soil stains left by her friend's Inu's. But of all the things she saw, the only thing she would be taking out of the apartment with her and Naruto was a notebook that Naruto had. She looked in it and saw drawings of different things, but the things that stood out was the multiply kitsunes he had. Of course they wasn't very good drawings since he was 5, but they was better than any other 5-year-old she had ever saw draw. She was also surprised at a drawing that Naruto had of himself as Hokage. It was colored and shocked her at how much it looked like the Yondaime. She didn't have time to think about it now though. Naruto, you're coming with me, we have to see the Hokage, she said, picking him up and jumping out the windowless window. She ran to the Hokage's office and sat Naruto on the chair outside the office. Wait here, she told him and walked in. As soon as she entered, Naruto heard yelling and screaming from inside the room. It scared him even if they wasn't yelling at him. The people that walked past him either called him names or sneered at him. He couldn't take the looks or words anymore and ran into the office and clung to Kurenai. See what I mean? These idiotic villagers have made him have trust issues and afraid when they look at him, she yelled. I know and I'm sorry, but I did my best. There is nothing else I can do, the Hokage said. Your best wasn't enough. Have you been to his apartment? Nothing in it works, she yelled. I know, but there is nothing else. I already went over my boundary giving him that apartment. This matter is in the hands of the council, the Hokage said. Fine, then I'll take it up with those old jerkasses, she said. She then walked out carrying Naruto, who she picked up sometime through her rant with the Hokage. As she walked, she glared at anyone who dared to make a comment or even look at him the wrong way. The entire time she didn't notice the clan heads listening into their conversation. Well, the Hyuga will provide protection where it's needed, Hiashi said. The Inuzuka will also. It's a shame that he is so scared of older people and is hesitant to talk to anyone his age. Thanks to Sasuke for his constant beatings of him, he would have made a great husband for Hana, Sum said. Well, I'll let Ino decide if she likes him or not, but I will provide extra protection, Inoichi said. Well, I think it's safe to say we all will provide protection with our clans, but what about the Hyuga Council, Shikaku said. Don't worry about that, I know things about him that will make the council hesitant to deny him protection, Hiashi said with a smile. Well, I have to go, it's almost dinner time and my wife hates when I'm late, Shikaku said. Kurenai walked into her apartment. Naruto, you will live here with me, okay? She said. Oh, okay, Kurenai, he said. Kurenai took him into her room and laid him on the bed. The next day Kurenai woke up and cleaned herself, then went to make breakfast. There was a knock on her door. She went to open it and found Anko on the other side. Haim, how can you stood me up, she said. Sorry Haim, but something came up, Kurenai said. It had better be important, Anko said. It is, come in. Kurenai moved aside so Anko can come in. She walked into her room with Anko following her. He is why I missed our date, Kurenai said. Ain't that Naruto Uzumaki? She asked. Yes. Kurenai walked over to the side of the bed. Naruto, I want you to meet someone, she said. Naruto opened his eyes and looked at Kurenai, then Anko. Ah! He screamed out and backed far away from Anko as possible and hid under the covers. Anko looked hurt. He has trust problems. It seems as if I'm the only one he trusts, Kurenai said. I don't blame him, I would too, Anko said. Don't worry, he will trust you soon enough, Kurenai said. I guess. Besides, if he plans on jump in the middle of our relationship, we going to have to trust each other, Anko said. Kurenai kissed her on the lips. I'm going to bath him. Breakfast is done if you're hungry, she said. Sure. Anko said, walking out. Come on Naruto, let's get you cleaned, Kurenai said. Naruto peeked out the covers and saw that they was the only two in the room, and he slowly crawled to her. Don't be afraid of Haim, she is a good person, Kurenai told him, picking him up and taking him to the bathroom. After bathing him, she took him back to her room and put him on one of her shirts. I'm going to have to get you some new clothes, she said mainly to herself. Kurenai, he said. Yes Naruto, she answered. Why you so nice to me, he asked. She smiled at him. Well, Naruto, I also grew up without a family. My mother died when I was about your age, so I was put in an orphanage. No one ever adopted me because my parents wasn't the most liked people, and eventually I decided to train and become a kunoichi. I trained hard for years, and when I became a genin I met Anko. We became best friends, and soon her sensei left the village taking her with him. Since neither of us had parents, we was easily influenced by others, but in her case her sensei was an evil man who does bad things to people. I don't want you to grow up like we did. I want you to have a chance to have a loving family, and I'm going to give you just that, Kurenai said. Naruto looked at her. Thank you Nichan, he said. Kurenai looked surprised then smiled. You're welcome Otouto, she said. She walked him out into the kitchen. He saw Anko and attached himself to Kurenai's leg. Don't worry Otouto, she won't hurt you, Kurenai said. Anko looked over at him then at Kurenai. Otouto, she asked. Kurenai shrugged. He called me Nichan, so she left off. I see, well congratulations, Anko said then went back to eating. Come on, let's get you something to eat. She sat Naruto on the opposite side of Anko and put some food in front of him. Anko watched as Naruto nervously ate while keeping an eye on her, not sure if she would try anything or not. At first Anko was amused but soon got annoyed by this. Look kid, I'm not going to hurt you, so eat your breakfast, she said. Please, he already is afraid of you, don't make it worse, Kurenai said. Anko rolled her eyes. I can see that, but he needs to understand that I'm not going to do anything to him and he needs to get used to seeing me, she said. Kurenai just sighed. Just eat your food Otouto, then we need to go to see those old jerkasses on the council, she said. Nichan, he said. The council? Anko asked. Apparently the Hokage isn't able to do anything to help him since this is the council department, Kurenai said. Oh, I'll go with you since I have nothing better to do yet, Anko said. Anko and Kurenai walked in the council's meeting with Naruto gripping Kurenai like his life depended on it and his face was buried in her shoulder. The Hokage looked over at them. Good timing Kurenai, we was just talking about you, he said. What is he doing here? One of the council members asked. He is here with me, Kurenai said. Okay, we will first let Kurenai tell why she should be allowed to take care of Naruto, the Hokage said. Kurenai walked up to the front with Anko. She put Naruto down. He looked at the council and ran behind Kurenai and planted his face in her leg. Kurenai sighed at how they treated him. First, I would like to ask, have anyone ever saw how Naruto was treated by the villagers? Have anyone ever thought about how he is going to survive by himself? Have anyone ever went to where he lives? Have anyone ever thought of how he is treated will affect him? Have anyone even given him a second thought? She asked. What's with the pointless questions? Asked Danzo. Well, I have. I followed him around and witnessed the countless beatings he has taken. I watched as Sasuke many times walked up to him and relieve his anger on Naruto because he couldn't defend himself. I have witnessed Chunins and Junins beat him until he was unconscious, all for something that he had no control over or no choice in. His apartment looks like it's going to fall if a stiff wind hits it. Why is he treated like this? All because you can't get over what happened in the past, Kurenai said in a forced calm manner. Why should we allow someone who is in a relationship with another kunoichi look after him? Asked a member. So you're saying that because I like Anko that disqualify me from taking care of him? Kurenai asked. No, we are saying no one will look after him, another council member said. Well, I'm telling you that I will be looking after him, Kurenai said. You will tell us nothing, we are the council, you do what we say, one of the elders. Actually, I'm the only one who can tell her what to do, seeing as kunoichis fall under the Hokage's domain, the Hokage said. Enough of this, we are ending this now. She has my vote to look after him and he has the protection of the Hyuga clan, Hiashi said. The Inuzuka second that, Sum said. So does the Yamanaka, Inoichi said. So does the Nara, Shikaku said. So does the Akamichi, Shuza said. And the Aburame, Shibi said. Well, there you have it. With majority of the clan's vote, she will be the official guardian of Naruto, the Hokage said. What, this is a mistake. He should be put in my program and trained to be a weapon, Danzo said. The decision has been made. This meeting is over, the Hokage said. Let's go, Otouto. You need new clothes, Kurenai said. This isn't over, one of the council members said. Any persons caught attacking my Otouto will be by me, Kurenai said. Then she grabbed Naruto's hand and left. I'll see you, Kurheim. I have a meeting with Ibiki in a few minutes about the interrogation and assassination position that's open, Anko said. I hope you get it, Kurenai said. Yay, we could use the extra money now with him, Anko said. I know I'm going to have to take harder missions too, Kurenai said. They walked around and no store would allow Naruto to enter. This pissed Kurenai off to no end. So they was walking around the village. Naruto still had on only Kurenai's shirt. It was early, so not many people was up yet, so Kurenai took him to the park. Nichan, can why you push me on the SSS swing, he asked. Yes, come on Otouto, Kurenai said. They played in the park for a few hours. As people started to come to the park, Kurenai decided it was time to leave because she didn't feel like dealing with stupid villagers today. She took him back to his apartment. Otouto, I need to buy you new clothes, but no store will allow you in. Is there any style you want me to get you, or a certain color? She asked. Naruto thought. Ill like orange, he said. So that's all? She asked. Why yes, he said. Good, I'll have an Anbu come watch you while I go get you new clothes, she said. There was a knock on her door. Kurenai, Hiyashi-sama has requested your presence at the Hyuga compound as soon as possible, Inu said. Right. Hey Inu, you like Naruto, right? She asked. Well, I can't make a decision on that since I haven't had a chance to actually meet him. All our meetings was me stopping him from being, Inu said. Could you watch him until I come back? I need to buy him some clothes and no store will allow me to take him in. I'll pay you for a D rank mission, Kurenai said. Sure, I'll have Rabbit help me since she wanted to meet him and know if he was as bad as the rumors, Inu said. Fine, but no, if anything happens to my Otouto I will hold you responsible and you will know why I'm a genjutsu prodigy, Kurenai said. Don't worry, I take my job seriously, Inu said. Well, I should be back in a few hours, she said. See you then, Inu said. He then pressed a button next to his ear. Rabbit, come in, he said over the earpiece. This is Rabbit, she said. I'm watching Naruto for Kurenai. You can come meet him if you want, Inu said. I'll be there, Rabbit said. Naruto sat as far away from Inu the entire time. Kurenai walked over to them. I'll be back shortly, I have to go shopping then to meet someone. Inu will watch you, okay, she said. But Nichan, do you have to leave? He asked. I know it's hard, but I'll back. She then kissed him on the top of the head. Here Otouto, if you need something just write it down and show it to Inu and he will get it, Kurenai said. Okay Nichan, he said. Kurenai left just as Rabbit was coming in. They nodded, then Kurenai ran off. Inu and Rabbit looked at Naruto. Well, hello, I'm Rabbit, she said. Naruto just moved away from them looking scared. Rabbit blinked and took a step closer, which Naruto backed up from. She sighed. I'm not going to hurt you, she said. Naruto pulled the paper and pen closer to him. When is Nichan coming back? He wrote and held it up so Rabbit can read it. Well, she will be back when she gets you new clothes, Rabbit said. Who are you? He wrote down. Well, I'm Rabbit, I'm in the Anbu, she said. Who is he? He wrote next. Well, I'm Inu, I'm also in the Anbu, he said. Kurenai ran to the nearest store and bought a few pairs of black pants that had orange stripes down the side and some orange shirts. She also grabbed some shoes and a pair of small weights, then left the store to the Hyuga compound. Hey, I'm here to see Hiyashi, she said. You will have respect for Hiyashi-sama, the guard said. Kurenai looked at him. He asked me to put time in my busy day to come here, now go get him, she demanded. Why you? He was cut off. It's okay, I asked her to come. Follow me if you, Kurenai, Hiyashi said. They walked through the compound to his office. Why did you support me in taking care of Naruto? What's in it for you? She asked as soon as the door was closed. Hiyashi chuckled. Actually, I need to talk to you about that. You see, the elders of the clan wants him to either beat or branded, and the only way I could prevent that was to support you in taking care of him, Hiyashi said. Again, what's in it for you and the Hyugas? She asked. Let's just say this is payback for an old friend, Hiyashi said. This has nothing to do with him looking like the Yondaime, does it? She asked. What do you mean? Hiyashi asked nervously. Well, I didn't know him well, but there is no way a random orphan will look this much like him. He is basically a miniature Yondaime. Also, I don't think the Yondaime would have just used a random child to seal Kyuubi in, she said. Hiyashi sighed. It's true, Naruto is the Yondaime's legacy. His mother disappeared after birth. No one knows what happened to her. I have suspicions, but I can't act on them just yet. Right now, the most important thing is to make sure Naruto is taken care of, and you're the best person to do that, he said. Suspicions on who? She asked. Danzo and the Elder Council, Hiyashi said. I see. Well, you will need to pay me to keep quiet on this, Kurenai said. Hiyashi sighed. I hoped you would understand, he said. Oh, I completely understand, but if Naruto is the son of the Yondaime and you want me to keep quiet, you're going to have to pay up. I don't get paid enough to take care of a child, Kurenai said. I see, that's what you mean. What do you want? Hiyashi asked. Well, first I need a bigger place. I would like something with enough room for me, Naruto, and Haim, but not something too big. Maybe 3 rooms, a kitchen and living room with a yard, and a monthly payment of either money or missions I can do for money, at least until Naruto becomes a genin, she said. I understand. I'll get on the house right away. I'll try to find something close enough so you have the protection of one of the clans, hopefully mine or the Inuzuka. Also, I will mail you either the money or missions I need done, he said. Okay, also no assassination attempts on anyone in the village, she said. Deal, he said. Well, I have to get going. Naruto doesn't trust anyone but me, and even though Inu and Rabbit are trustworthy, he will not do anything that has to do with them, Kurenai said. I understand, Hiyashi said. Kurenai left and ran home. When she walked in the apartment, it was as she expected. Inu and Rabbit was trying to get him to say something, but all Naruto did was shy away from them, afraid that they might hit him. She shook her head. It's going to be hard to get him to trust adults again, she thought. Otouto, I'm back, she said. Ni-chan. Naruto got up and ran to her. Thank you both, Kurenai said. No problem, he is an interesting kid if you can get him to say something, Inu said. It's sad how they treated him, Rabbit said. Yes, I have my work cut out to get him to trust people again, Kurenai said. How did Anko take seeing him? Inu asked. The same as you two, I guess. She tried to convince him she wouldn't hurt him, but he didn't believe her, Kurenai said. I wouldn't either. Actions speak louder than words, Rabbit said. Yes, we will come around more to try and get his trust, Inu said. Rabbit, we have to get back on patrol. They disappeared in a swirl of leaves. Well, Otouto, I have new clothes for you, she said, sitting the bag on the floor for him to look through. These are mine? He asked. Yes, Otouto. Don't worry, you will get more things from me as you grow and need them. Besides, I'm way too big for them, don't you think? She said. Naruto went through the bag. Ni-chan, what's this? He asked, pulling out the weights. They are heavy, he said. That's your new weights so you can become stronger and faster. Do you want to become a ninja like the Yondaime Hokage? She asked. Really, I see, can? He asked. Of course, if you want to, she said. I want to, he said. Good, we will start your chakra training soon. First, we have to work on your mental knowledge, but you're going to wear those weights all the time except when you're sleeping and bathing, Kurenai said. See, can I put these on? He asked, pulling out a pair of pants and orange shirt. Of course, they are your clothes, she said. The next day, Hiyashi and Hinata went to Kurenai's apartment to find her, Anko, and Naruto eating breakfast. Hiyashi, how can I help you? Kurenai asked. We are here about that house I promised, Hiyashi said. Right, come in, Kurenai said. They walked into the kitchen. Otouto, this is Hiyashi Hyuga, he was nice enough to buy us a house, and this is his daughter Hinata, she is the heir to the Hyuga clan, she said. HHH Hi HHH Hiyashi AAA and HHH Hinata, he said. Hello Naruto-san, Hinata said with a smile. Hello Naruto, Hiyashi said. Naruto looked from Hiyashi to Hinata. He was lost in her eyes. When she looked at him curiously, his eyes widened thinking he did something wrong and ran to Kurenai. Hiyashi laughed. Hinata, I think you scared him, he said. Sorry Naruto-san, she said. Don't worry Hinata, he is terrified of everyone, Kurenai said. Well, let's go show you your new house. I have some Hyugas waiting to move your stuff, Hiyashi said. Okay, come on Haim, Kurenai said. I'm still eating, Anko said. So, Kurenai said, pulling her out her seat, you're setting a bad example for Otouto, she said. He doesn't even like me, Anko said. How do you know? Did he say he didn't? He is just afraid of you, Kurenai said. Whatever, why do I have to come anyway? Anko asked. Because you're living there too, Kurenai said. They arrived at the house and Kurenai noticed it was directly in the middle of the Hyugas and the Inuzuka's clan. The house was enclosed in a wall that went all the way around with a gate at the opening. The yard was big, it even had its own training field in it. The inside the house was painted a cream color. The kitchen and living room was separated by a large eating island. Off the living room was a small library that was filled with scrolls. From where Kurenai didn't know, they went up some stairs and found 4 bedrooms. One was painted light orange, one red, one purple, and the last one was cream colored. Each room had a bed and dresser and a small bathroom for itself. They went back to the main room. Hiyashi, why this house so huge? All I asked for was a house with enough room for us 3, Kurenai said. I know what you said, but it was agreed that you would need more because you won't be able to train Naruto the way you want outside in the village's training grounds. That's why we had this added on, and the scrolls in the library was given by each of the clans that supports you. Also, the basement was made for chakra training that he is going to need. It was specially made so chakra won't be sensed outside the basement, Hiyashi said. Thank you, Kurenai said. NNN Nichan CC, can I have TT the OO orange R room? Naruto asked. Of course Otouto, she answered. Well, the Hyugas should be bringing your things by soon. Anko, we need your permission to collect your things, Hiyashi said. Anko threw him the key. I better not be missing nothing either, she said. Hiyashi and Hinata left. Well Otouto, let's start you out with the basics of being a ninja, Kurenai said. What do I do? He asked. First you need to know how to access your chakra, Kurenai said. Kurenai took Naruto to the basement. Anko followed. Okay Otouto, first do you know what chakra is? Kurenai asked. I heard GGTT talking and S said T that N ninjas use it F for S something, he replied. But so you know exactly what it is, I'll explain it to you, she said. To perform techniques, ninja need to use their chakra. Chakra comes from 2 places, 1 the body energy inherent in the trillions of their cells, and 2 the mental and spiritual energy gained from exercise and experience. To perform a jutsu, the ninja will bring out and release these 2 energies. The amount of chakra required for a technique will vary depending upon its size and complexity. Each ninja has the potential to better utilize an elemental ninjutsu style, she told him. Are you with me so far? She asked. So B basically I need C chakra T to use P powers, he asked. Yes exactly, if you can't use chakra you can't use your powers, Kurenai said. Anko's sweat dropped. Only she would make it sound like a manga, she thought. Now listen carefully Otouto, I'm going to continue now, she said. He nodded. For taijutsu the ninja does not need to necessarily use chakra, as some attacks merely use the stamina required to carry out the attack. For ninjutsu the ninja's chakra control will determine how much chakra is used on the technique. For example, ninja with excellent chakra control, they will use the minimum amount with nothing wasted. For ninja with poor chakra control, they will expend more chakra than needed to accomplish their jutsu, Kurenai said. So IDDD don't n need chakra to use TT taijutsu, but the BBB better I can CC control my chakra the easier it is to use my PP powers, Naruto asked. Exactly, you're catching on fast Otouto, Kurenai said. She took a breath. Chakra flows through the body's chakra circulatory system. On a more microscopic level is these channels connecting all the vital points on the body. These small channel pathways travel between the cells of the body. They carry the generated chakra and allow the ninja to mold it. If these channels are severed, it is beyond the ability of even skilled medical ninja to repair. On the large scale, the chakra circulatory system travels throughout the body and around the internal organs, also responsible for creating chakra. This system includes 361 tenketsu, which are tiny pinpoints through which the chakra flows. The chakra flow can be increased or decreased by manipulating these tenketsu. The chakra circulatory system is only visible through the use of the Byakugan. The Sharingan can see general chakra flow, but not the internal system itself. The Byakugan and the Hyuga clan's Jiyuken, gentle fist, attack style allows them to eject their chakra from their hands into the tenketsu of their opponents. This pressure will cause the tenketsu to close and block the flow of their chakra. With enough tenketsu closed, the ninja's chakra flow will be almost nothing, eliminating their ability to use jutsus. Also, because the system travels throughout the body and around internal organs, pressure done against the tenketsu will also damage nearby organs. Because a ninja cannot train and strengthen their internal organs, such attacks can be devastating, she finished. Huh? He asked. Basically, thing of the chakra system is another blood system that you need to survive, and if they gets hit they can you, Anko said. OOS, so th these h Hyuga p people see can scth them and hit them, Naruto asked. Yes, they are the only people who can directly attack your chakra points, Kurenai said. So how do YUF fight AHH Hyuga? Naruto asked. That will be taught by him. She is better in taijutsu than I am, Kurenai said. Oh, okay, he said, looking nervous. Now I'm going to continue, focusing an equal and constant amount of chakra to a portion if the ninja's body allows them to attach their body to the touched object. This allows them to walk up vertical surfaces. By expelling a continuous set amount from their feet in proportion to their body weight, the ninja can walk on water. Ninja can also focus chakra to specific limbs, which will increase the muscle's power and strength. So YUW will S show me T to W walk O on W water, he asked. Yes, Kurenai said. B but IH have T to L learn T to U use M my C chakra, he asked. Exactly. It will take a long time, but you will learn it soon, Kurenai said. Oh, okay, he said. Chakra can also be extended from the body for an attack or defense. This can take the form of the chakra strings used to manipulate puppets in Kugetsu no Jutsu. It can also be focused to a fine point for cutting, such as in medics' chakra scalpels. It can also be used to form a defensive barrier in chakra no tate. So I at C can C cut T things and D defend me W when I U use I at R right, he asked. Wow Gaki, you're smart to get all this after one explanation, Anko praised. The chakra in the brain and sensory organs are also the primary target of genjutsu. Genjutsu is created when a ninja extends their chakra flow through the cerebral nervous system of their opponents to control their mind's chakra, thereby affecting their five senses. To combat the effects of genjutsu, there are two options. The first option is for the ninja to stop the flow of chakra in their body, and then apply an even stronger power to disrupt the flow of the caster's chakra. The second option is to have an outside ninja unaffected by the genjutsu make body contact, and use their chakra to disrupt the caster's flow, Kurenai said. So G genjutsu I is versus very be bad, he said. If you don't know when you're in a genjutsu it can be, Kurenai said. So IH have T to L learn A all T this, he asked. Well, you will, but not at one time. You have a few years before you become a genin, so we can take our time to make sure you know everything you need, Kurenai said. Oh, okay, and Nichan, he said. Before we start working on learning to use your chakra, you need to learn to defend yourself. Me and Haim are going to help you with taijutsu, Kurenai said. Naruto's eyes widen. I get to learn something now, he asked excited. Yes, now stand up, Kurenai said. B but N Nichan T these W weights are T to H heavy, he said. Don't worry, you will get used to them after you move around for a few hours, Kurenai said. She turned to Anko. I guess you don't know any other style he can learn, do you? She asked. Nope, all I know is my snake style, Anko said. Okay, we can teach him that for now, but I want him to learn a few taijutsu styles, Kurenai said. Fine with me, Anko said. Otouto, will you let Haim teach you taijutsu? Kurenai asked. Oh, okay, and Nichan I if YUT think IS should, he said. Good. I'll go make lunch while she starts to teach you, Kurenai said. Now Gaki, my style is based off speed and reflexes and not power. You need to be able to dodge and strike at a moment's notice and be as unpredictable as possible. I'm going to show it to you, then help you learn it, okay? Anko said. Oh, okay, he said. Anko went through the steps of her taijutsu slowly so he can get a good look for how it's supposed to be. She ended and turned to Naruto. Now let's start. Try and copy every move I make as close as possible. Once you have the first dance right, we will work on making it correct and flow right, she told him. Oh, okay, he said. Naruto tried to follow Anko, but his hand-eye coordination wasn't good and he kept falling. After a few minutes of him trying to follow her and falling, she stopped. First, Gaki, we need to fix your coordination, this way it will be easier for you, she said. How D do WED do T that? He asked. Wait here. Anko ran upstairs. Haim, do you have a ball or something? She asked. I think I put it in Otouto's clothes. Why? She asked. He needs to work on his coordination, Anko said. Oh, I thought you was working on his taijutsu, Kurenai said. Well, I can't if he keeps falling trying to copy what I'm showing him, she replied. She ran to Naruto's room and found a ball, then back down to the basement. Okay, Gaki, we are going to play a game. You have to dodge me while I chase and throw this ball at you. This will force you to move certain ways without thinking about it, she said. Oh, okay, he said. Over the month they worked on his coordination. Naruto stood in the middle of the yard with both Anko and Kurenai holding a ball in each hand. Ready, Otouto? Kurenai asked. Yes, Nichan, he said. Kurenai and Anko smiled. They was so happy when they was able to get Naruto to stop being afraid around them. Although he was still scared to go anywhere they wasn't at, he didn't stutter when they was around, well, at least not as much as before, and he didn't stutter at all when talking to them. Otouto, now we start your dodging training, Anko said. When are you going to teach me taijutsu again? He asked. Well, we have to wait till you have the right coordination, although it's better it's not where it should be, Anko said. Enough talking. Kurenai then threw a ball at Naruto, then sped to another spot in the yard and threw the other. Anko followed and soon the two was blurs to Naruto while throwing the balls just slow enough so he could see and dodge them. Hello, is anyone here? A female yelled. Who was that? Naruto asked nervously. Otouto, don't start that, you know no one will do anything with us here, Kurenai asked. In the back, Anko yelled. The person walked around. Hello, Anko and Kurenai, they said. Hi, Sum. This is Naruto, Kurenai said. What brings you here? Anko asked. I would have came earlier in the month, but clan things kept me in the compound, Sum said. I see. Well, how can we help you? Kurenai asked. Actually, I came to ask if there was anything you needed that we can help you with, Sum said. Well, not at the moment, Kurenai said. Oh, this is my daughter Hana, she is the clan's heir, she said. Hello, Hana said. This is Naruto, Anko said. Go on, say hi, Kurenai said. Hello, NNN, nice to meet you, he said. He is so cute. I wish he was a few years older, the 10-year-old said. Anko, Sum, and Kurenai laughed. You're not the only one. A few of my friends' daughters wish he was older also, Anko said. So are there anyone you're thinking about letting him date? Sume whispered. Well, the only people I would let him date are Hinata, Tenten, and Ino, Kurenai whispered back. Two clan heirs and the last from what I have heard is great with weapons even at a young age, Sume said. Yes, but it was them backing me in taking care of Naruto with Ino and Hinata, and for Tenten her Otouto has always tried to help Naruto, Kurenai said. It's sad how these villagers have made his terrified to even make friends. Look at that, Sume said. I know I hate them for what they did, if only I could get in touch with Jiraiya or Tsunade, Kurenai said as she watched Hana try to get Naruto to talk to her. Hana, he will eventually talk to you once he knows you enough, it takes a while to get him to trust you, Kurenai told her. Really? It took almost 3 weeks for him to trust me, Anko said. SSS sorry for FF falling into you, Naruto said. It's okay Naruto, Hana said, then reached her hand out to help him up. Naruto pulled himself into a ball. No, he yelled, getting the adult's attention. Hana recoiled her hand quickly. What's wrong? I'm just trying to help you up, she said. PPPP please DDD don't hit me, he asked. What, I'm not going to hit you, she said. Don't worry Hana, he has a fear of people. I'm trying to break it, Kurenai said, walking up to them. So he don't not like me? She asked. No, he just scared of you. The more you come around the more he will trust you, Kurenai said. Okay, Hana said. Don't look so down Gaki, that's actually better than what happened when Kakashi came over to see him, Anko said. That was because Kakashi showed him his Sharingan, Kurenai said. What's wrong with that? Sume asked. Naruto is literally terrified of the Sharingan. When Kakashi showed it to him, Naruto almost had a heart attack and went unconscious, Kurenai said. Is he that afraid of the Sharingan? Sume asked. When he was unconscious I asked Inoichi to check his past and tell me everything. Even he had a hard time telling me what happened in Naruto's past. He had to take me inside just to see. And trust me, what those damn Uchihas did to him goes past treason, Kurenai said. So far past treason that Orochimaru would look like a saint, but of course the council wouldn't even hear the case since it involved the Gaki and the Uchihas was being accused of something, Anko said. Did Itachi have anything to do with the attacks? Hana asked. He didn't attack him, but he also didn't help him. He just watched as it happened, Kurenai said. Why does that matter? As far as I'm concerned all the Uchihas are to blame, Anko said. She and Itachi was kind of dating even when I told her not to waste her time with him, Sume said. Well, we are not anymore, Hana said. The entire time Naruto was running around in the yard kicking the ball as if he was playing soccer. He kicked it a little too hard and it hit Anko. Sorry nay, he said. It's okay Gaki, but watch where you throw the balls, Anko replied. I didn't throw it, I kicked it, he responded. Really, show me, Anko said. Naruto spotted another ball and started kicking it around. Sometimes he would miss and other times he would kick it too hard. They watched as he continued to kick it. Otouto, you can use that game as coordination training, Kurenai said. Coordination training? Sume asked. Yeah, I tried to teach him taijutsu, but his coordination was shot, so we started to throw balls at him to fix his coordination, but it's taking too long, Anko said. I see, Sume said. That looks fun. I'm going to have to play that with Kiba when we get home, Hana said as she started to kick another ball around. 2 months later, Naruto and Anko was in the yard practicing taijutsu while Kurenai did a mission for Hiashi. Naruto had been learning the first 2 of 12 dances. It took him 2 months each to learn the first 2 dances and he was trying to combine them. During the 2 months, Kakashi and Yugo, Hana and Sume, Hiashi and Hinata, and Tenten and her Otouto would stop by so they can get to know Naruto and help with his confidence. Kurenai was proud of his progress and promised to start his chakra training when she got back. Every month Kurenai also increased the weight on his weights. She also took interest in Naruto's drawing that started make her wonder if he knew about Kyuubi or not, because more of his drawings had to do with a kitsune. Gaki, come with me, we are going to see Gigi, Anko said. Okay nay, Naruto said. They walked to the Hokage's office and Naruto had Anko's hand in a vice grip. They walked in. Hey Gigi, I need to ask you something, Anko said. What's that, Anko? I can't lend you more money for food, the Hokage said. No, it's not that, and me and Kurheim are making enough now to get by. I need your permission to send a summon to find and ask Tsunade for some chakra control scrolls for the Gaki, Anko said. The Hokage thought about it. Fine, but you are forbidden to mention him in the note you send or anything about him. Also, if you can try and get her to come back to the village, the Hokage said. Sure, but you know she won't come back, Anko said. Worth a try, the Hokage said. Let's go Gaki, Anko said. BBBB by Gigi, Naruto said. Bye Naruto, the Hokage said. Back at the house, Anko was in the kitchen writing down in her scroll when Kurenai came in. What are you doing, Haim? She asked. I'm sending a summon to find and give this note to Tsunade asking her for chakra control scrolls for the Gaki, she replied. Oh, are you going to mention him? Kurenai asked. Gigi said I was forbidden to mention him or anything about him, Anko said. She then gave the summon the scroll and it disappeared. The Gaki finally was able to combine the first two dances together. Time for you to teach him to access his chakra, Anko said. Right, let's go Otouto to the basement, Kurenai said. Ni-chan, can I ask you something? He asked, getting up. Sure. Kurenai said. Why do I see a kitsune when I'm asleep and sometimes when I got beat unconscious I would see a kitsune? He asked. Anko and Kurenai looked at each other. Otouto, sit down, Kurenai said. She took a deep breath. 5 years ago the village was attacked by Kyuubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed kitsune. The Yondaime battled it but he couldn't beat it, so he sealed it. Unfortunately you was the kid he sealed it in, Kurenai said. Why you mean I'm a demon? He asked. Anko and Kurenai frowned at that. Look Gaki, you're not a demon or the kitsune. You're Naruto Uzumaki and you're our little brother and always will be. So don't ever call yourself that again, Anko said. And those who call you that don't know what they are talking about. They are too stupid to see that you're keeping us safe by making sure the real demon don't get out of its cage, Kurenai said. So why you don't hate me? He asked. Don't start this again Gaki, if we hated you we wouldn't be taking care of you. We both love you Gaki and always will, Anko said. Yay, now let's go. We need to start your chakra training soon so you can learn to use the chakra Kyuubi lends you, Kurenai said. What do you mean lends me? Naruto asked. Well, Kyuubi is able to see some of the stuff but not much, and has been lending you small amounts of chakra to keep you alive, but since we came it has done it less and less. I believe if you can talk to Kyuubi you can work out a deal that allows you to use more chakra in exchange for a little more freedom, Kurenai said. Is that a good idea? I mean, if Kyuubi tried to everyone want it, try it again, Naruto asked. Well, that's why you need to make a deal. It had to have a reason for attacking us, then if we find out why we could make Kyuubi's punishment more bearable, Anko said. Okay, Naruto said. Well, let's go, Kurenai said. The two went down to the basement to start training. Now Otouto, I need you to sit in a meditation position. Kurenai also got into this position. Okay, now what Ni-chan? He asked. Close your eyes and try and find a glowing ball in the pit of your stomach. It should be blue. If you find it, say something, Kurenai said. Naruto closed his eyes and concentrated on finding his chakra. After a few hours so just sitting in the same position, Naruto started to lose focus. Then there was a bright flash, not that the two could see it, and it pulled them both into the light. Ni-chan, what's this? Naruto asked. I don't know. Stay close to me, Kurenai said. She went into her pouch and pulled out 2 kunais. They walked down the wet hall and found 3 doors, one named Strength, one named Courage, and one named Memories. Kurenai went up to the doors and the only one that was opened was the one that said Memories. So she led him in. Once they was in, she wished she didn't bring him in since they was memories of his past. Naruto buried his face in Kurenai's back as she led him down the hall. Welcome, she heard. She looked around and saw no one. Show yourself, she demanded. I can't come to you're going to have to keep walking, the voice said. Kurenai gripped the kunais tighter and led Naruto on. Where are we? She asked as she looked at the gate. The door they walked out slammed shut. Thank you for coming, the voice said. Kurenai pulled her kunais up. Show yourself, she said. The voice chuckled. You're a brave one, but I'll stop making you wonder. The voice stepped up into the light. I'm sure you know who I am, the voice said. Kyuubi no Kitsune, Kurenai said. Correct, Kyuubi said. Why did you bring us here? Kurenai asked. Not my choice, it's the design of the seal, Kyuubi said, pointing to the seal with his paw. Okay, but how do we leave? Kurenai asked. Well, you leave when your business here is finished, I'll assume, since it brought you here for a reason, Kyuubi said. I see, well, since we are here, let's work out a deal, Kurenai said. Okay, Kyuubi said in a curious tone. I want you to let Naruto use your chakra when needed freely, Kurenai said. My chakra? What exactly do you mean, since the seal draws out my chakra when needed anyway to heal him, Kyuubi said. Well, I have noticed that after the Uchiha's last attack on him you would interfere when he was beat unconscious, Kurenai said. Yes, I can't have the Gaki die now, can I? It looks bad on me, Kyuubi said. Here is the deal, you let Naruto have access to your chakra without interference and you get a little more freedom, Kurenai said. This is interesting, just how much chakra you talking, because if he takes too much I automatically will take over, Kyuubi said. Well, he will have the freedom to access your eyes as if they was a dujutsu, and at least 1 tail's worth of chakra, but he is only allowed to use that much chakra if he is about to die, Kurenai said. I see, but there are some people who are more powerful than 1 tail's worth of my chakra, Kyuubi said. Well, how about he gets the equivalent of 2 cages level of your power, and if he is fighting another Jinchuriki he will need enough to fight that person on an even level, Kurenai said. You do realize that even if I agree to this he won't ever be able to take more than 4 tails worth of my power, Kyuubi said. That's fine, Kurenai said. Now you said I get more freedom, explain this, Kyuubi said. Otouto, what are you willing to trade for this deal? Kurenai asked Wenboy, who haven't taken his face out of her back the entire time. He thought. SSSSS senses, he whispered. Okay, you get to taste, feel, hear, see, and smell everything he does, basically anything that has to do with the basic senses, and you get to talk freely to him in his mind, but you have to promise on your 9 tails that you won't try to take over him, Kurenai said. Kyuubi thought for a minute. Fine, I agree to that deal and I promise on my 9 tails I won't take over his body, but I also want one more thing, Kyuubi said. What's that? Kurenai said. You have to summon me out so I can walk around as a tiny kitsune, he said. What, how can I do that, and how small? Kurenai asked. Well, the kitsune have a summon contract, the last to use it was a kunoichi of the old whirlpool named Kushina. The contract kitsune will bring it to you to sign it. It's a family-only contract, that's why no one knew about it, he said. What, how did no one notice a family summoning kitsunes? Kurenai asked. Because kitsunes are not fighters. Like the canine, we are expert trackers and can find anyone who we want if we even have the smallest scent of the person. We are even better than the canine, Kyuubi said. So you was summoned? Kurenai asked. No, I was not summoned. Like I said, the only person who signed our contract in the last 25 years was Kushina. I was forced summoned by an Uchiha, Kyuubi said. What, which Uchiha? Kurenai asked. The one who has the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Kyuubi said. Why was you summoned though? Kurenai asked. I'm guessing because the only person able to negate the effect of the Sharingan on me was not here or is dead, some lady with a diamond on her head, Kyuubi said. I see, thank you for telling me this. I will try everything to find the one who summoned you and make them pay, Kurenai said. No, don't, that will not do nothing but cause more war. You must train him to access his chakra. Once he have access to it, I will train him in his sleep to use my eyes and chakra to the full potential that he will be able to. Also, if you don't mind, I would like to make this a Kekkei Genkai for him and his future kids, Kyuubi said. Sure. Kurenai said. Good, now you need to leave, Kyuubi said. They opened their eyes to find themselves in the hospital. Kurenai groaned. Why are we here? She asked. What, you was out for a few hours, Anko said. What really it only felt like a few minutes, Kurenai said. How is he? Did he wake up? She finished. Anko looked over at him. He just now waking, she said. The Hokage cleared his throat. Would you be so kind as to explain what happened? He asked. Kurenai looked around and saw not only the Hokage but Tsume, Hana, Hinata, Tenten, Hiashi, Inoichi, Ino, Shikaku, Shikamaru, Shuza, Choji, Shibi, Shino, Kakashi, and Yugo. What are all you doing here? She asked. Well, Anko sent a clone to tell us you was in the hospital and we was with our kids at the time, so we brought them, Tsume said. Now Kurheim, what the hell happened? There was this bright flash of light, then when I went to see what it was, you both was unconscious, Anko said. Well, I was teaching Otouto to access his chakra, then the next thing I know we was inside this place that had 3 doors. One said strength, one said courage, and one said memories. I tried them all but only one was open, she said. What happened next? Anko said. It was Otouto's memories. I guided him through until I heard a voice welcome us. We followed the voice until we found it. It was. Kurenai stopped. What was it? Hinata asked. Kurenai looked at Naruto, then at Anko. You all must promise not to say anything about this. They all promised. Have you all noticed how Otouto gets treated differently? Always beaten until he was unconscious, she asked. I have seen it happen once. Otousan was so mad that he completely destroyed the person's brain. I threw up from what that person did to him, Ino said. The same thing happened with Hinata when she saw that happen, Hiashi said. Well, the reason for that is because 5 years ago, she was cut off. Kurenai, do you think this is a good idea? The Hokage asked. No disrespect, Hokage, but your plan didn't work too well. We have to tell them the truth if Otouto will ever have any true friends, Kurenai said. I know, but this could have a negative effect, he said. Honestly, how much different can they treat him from how he is already treated? Anko asked. Fine, continue. I just hope this is the right thing to do, the Hokage said. Me too, Kurenai said. Well, 5 years ago the village was attacked by Kyuubi no Kitsune and the Yondaime fought against him but couldn't beat him, so he sealed Kyuubi inside a kid. She stopped and looked at how they was taking this so far. They all looked like they realized what was going to be said and looked horrified also. The only kid born that day was Otouto. Well, at least that was what the council said, so the baby used was. She stopped again. Naruto-san, Hinata whispered. Right, Kurenai said. The next thing anyone knows, Hinata, Ino, Tenten, and Hana was across the room hugging Naruto, crying. The adults just looked at them. The boys just looked as if they was in deep thought, and Naruto looked terrified that they might him. Naruto-san, you're no monster, Hinata said. That's right, you're a good kid, just misunderstood, Tenten said. I can't believe this village is so stupid to blame you for that, Ino said. We will protect you and be your friend, Hana said. Girls, please go back to your parents. He is already terrified from the attention. He don't need you all crushing him to death, Anko said. Sorry. They mumbled and went back to their seats. Naruto, you're a kid just like us, and the second youngest. You just had bad luck being born that day. You're one of us and always be, Choji said. Don't bother with listening to this troublesome village. We are your true friends. As long as we are here you will never be alone, Shikamaru said. Naruto, thank you for keeping us safe, Shino said. Well, that went better than I thought it would, Kurenai said. Yes, and I'm glad they accepted him, the Hokage said. Me too. Once he get used to them and learns to trust them they will all be the best of friends, Anko said. I have more, Kurenai said. What's that? The Hokage asked. Well, we made a deal with Kyuubi. Before you yell out Hokage, this was done for Naruto's protection and there is no reversing it. Kurenai, when she saw the Hokage about to blow a blood vessel. Now the deal was that Naruto gets access to the equivalent of 2 cages of chakra from him to use freely, and he is also able to use the Kyuubi's eyes as if they was a dojutsu, Kurenai said. What does Kyuubi get? Anko asked. Senses. Whatever Naruto taste, feel, hear, see, and smell he does, basically anything that has to do with the basic senses, and he get to talk freely to him in his mind, but I made him promise not to try and take Naruto over, Kurenai said. Was that the best idea to do? The Hokage said. Well, I did it looking out for my Otouto. Me and Anko won't always be here to protect him when he needs us, and we can't always count on the clans to protect him from the council. Eventually they will find a way to blame him for something or try and have him. I'm just preparing him for something that we all know will happen, Kurenai said. I for one think it was a good idea. I mean, if any one of us had the Kyuubi sealed inside us, we can't honestly say we wouldn't try and get access to his chakra. This way Kyuubi has a little more freedom than spending all Naruto's live being used. Trust me, that will only give Kyuubi a reason to try and take him over, Anko said. I also believe it was the right thing to do, since this will give him a way to protect himself from the Uchiha who we all know have been trying to him since he was born, Hiashi said. Okay, is there anything else? The Hokage asked. Yes, he wants to make the Kitsune eyes and everything that comes with it a bloodline, and I'm getting a contract, Kurenai said. Contract? Sum asked. Yes, the Kitsune have a contract. It's a family contract used by a family in the old whirlpool. The last to sign it was Kushina. They are not a fighting summon but a tracking summon, and according to Kyuubi even better at it than the canine, Kurenai said. Kushina? The Hokage asked. Yes, Kurenai said. That all? Anko asked. Nope, one more thing. Kyuubi is also part of the summoning. He agreed to let me and Naruto and our family sign it only if we summon him as small harmless Kitsune, she said, putting an emphasis on harmless. The Hokage thought about this. As long as he stay away from where people can see him, then that's fine, the Hokage said. Not like that will matter anyway. We already made the deal, so no matter what you say it will happen. Both me and Otouto are bound by our word, Kurenai said. Hold on, if Kyuubi is a summon, did Kushina summon him? Yugo asked. No, actually he said he was forced summoned by an Uchiha, one that has something called the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, whatever that is, Kurenai said. Kakashi's eyes widen. Are you sure he said that? Are you sure it was the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? He asked Kurenai. Yes, why? Kurenai asked. Because only one Uchiha in history have had it, Kakashi said. How do you know? Anko asked. Because Obito told me all about it and how forbidden it was. He said the only way to get it is by taking the Mangekyo from your blood brother and combining it with your, giving you 4 eyes to prevent you from going blind from the Mangekyo Sharingan, Kakashi said. Who was the person? Kurenai asked hesitantly. Madara Uchiha, yes, the very same that fought the Shodai for power of Konoha when it was first created over 80 years ago, Kakashi said. How is that possible? The Hokage asked. No clue, Kakashi said. There was a big puff of smoke and a snake and Kitsune was there. I'm looking for Kurenai, the Kitsune said. That's me, Kurenai said. Here is the Kitsune contract as promised, the Kitsune said. Thank you. Kurenai looked at the names on the scroll. Hey, was Kushina the same Kushina Uzumaki that came from Whirlpool? She asked. The very same one, you know her, the Kitsune asked. That's her son, Kurenai said. He does smell like her, the Kitsune said, then disappeared with the scroll that Kurenai signed. I can't believe Kushina had a Kitsune contract, Sum said. Who is Kushina? Hinata asked. That was Otouto's cousin. She disappeared after giving birth. No one truly knows if she is dead or not, but most think she is, Kurenai said. Well, forget about that right now, it's not the time or place. Why is the snake here? The Hokage said. I'm here to give a message to Anko, the snake said. What's the message? Anko asked. Tell sensei that there is no way in hell I'm coming back. I already lost everything to that village. I am not going to lose the last person I have. Neither me nor Shizune are coming back anytime soon, the snake said. It also threw the scrolls at Anko. She needs those back when you're done, and you're not to show those to anyone. The snake then disappeared. How did she know I asked her to come back? The Hokage asked. Don't know, but Kurheim, these are those chakra scrolls one asked for, Anko said, looking at them. Well, he hasn't gained access to his chakra yet, Kurenai said. Well, when do we have scrolls? Anko said. Can we go home now? Kurenai asked. Sure. Just be careful when you train him, the Hokage said. Don't tell those jackasses about this or I will have one of these kitsunes find both Jiraiya and Tsunade and tell them you lied about Otouto, Kurenai threatened. Deal, the Hokage said quickly. Anko, can you ask Tsunade-sama for medic scrolls so I can learn from them, Tenten said. Sure, I'll ask her the next time I send her a letter, Anko said. Otousan, can I learn medics? Hinata asked. What you mean out in the open? I already know you have been studying medics secretly, Hiashi said. How? Hinata asked. You're my daughter, I know these things, and you can study medics, but I'm going to increase your Jiyuken training, Hiashi said. Deal, Hinata said. Otousan. Ino was cut off. I don't care if that's what you want, then you can, Inoichi said. I'm already in vet training, so I guess I could study to be a medic also, Hana said. If you want, Sum said. Okay, I'm going home, we still have plenty of light to train, Kurenai said. Kurenai, will you put Naruto through the CRA? The Hokage asked. No way, Otouto will have enough trouble with one person, he don't need another one, Kurenai laughed. I would agree, Anko said. Okay, remember nothing said leaves this room, the Hokage said. It was a month before Naruto's 6th birthday. Kurenai was in Hiashi's office talking about a mission he wanted done. Kurenai, you had a few months to learn to use your new contract now, would you be willing to help me with something I need tracking? Hiashi said. Sure. Kurenai said. Okay, I need you to track down Tsunade and bring her back here, not only for Naruto's birthday but also because in the few months the girls have learned so much in medics at such a rate, I fear that they will soon have nothing else to learn without having a medic to train them, and I believe the medics at the hospital are lacking to be a great teacher for them, Hiashi said. How exactly did you get this past the Hokage? Kurenai asked. Hiashi shrugged. Mention trying to get one of the senins back here and he will let you do almost anything as long as you don't mention Naruto, Hiashi said. Fine, I'll do it. I think meeting her will be good for his development anyway, Kurenai said. Okay, you leave as soon as possible, Hiashi said. What if she doesn't want to come back? Kurenai said. Do whatever you must to get her here. This is an S-ranked mission and you will be paid on her coming here. I don't care what it takes, Hiashi said. Right. Kurenai left and went to her house. Otouto, where are you? She yelled. Walking in the front door. We're in the back, Anko yelled back. Kurenai walked to the back to find Anko and Naruto practicing the 5th dance of snake-style taijutsu. Otouto, I have a mission, Kurenai said. How long? Anko asked. Don't know, but I will be back before Otouto's birthday, Kurenai said. What kind of mission? Anko asked. Tracking for Hiashi. He wants me to try and bring Tsunade back to train the girls in medics. Well, that's the official reason anyway, Kurenai said. Oh, be careful, Kurheim, Anko said, hugging her and giving her a quick kiss. Bye, Nichan. Will you bring me something back? Naruto said. Don't I always, and you still haven't wore the last gift I brought you back, Kurenai said, kissing him on the top of his head. Nichan, I told you I would wear it, Naruto said. I know, be good for Haim, Kurenai said. I'm always good, Naruto said. You better leave if you're going to try and find her in a month, Anko said. Summoning no jutsu, Kurenai summoned a kitsune that came to her waist. Can you help me track someone? She asked. Of course, do you have a picture or something I can follow? Sent from the kitsune asked. Well, I'm looking for Tsunade of the senins, Kurenai said. Oh well, hop on, everyone knows what she looks like, the kitsune said. Bye, Otouto Haim. Then Kurenai and the kitsune was gone. Well, Otouto, let's finish up training, then we can go to the park, Anko said. Okay, nay, Naruto said. A week later in Port City Casino, Tsunade was playing the slot machine. Shizune was standing behind her with Tun Tun in her arms. Tsunade pulled the lever and won. Tsunade just looked as the coins came rolling out the machine. Shizune looked excited and pulled out a large bag and started to fill it with the coins. I have a bad feeling, Tsunade said. Nonsense, you just finally won, Shizune said. Tsunade put another coin in, then pulled the lever again and won again. Shizune, we are leaving, Tsunade said. What, why you just won twice? Shizune said. That's the point, this means someone is looking for me, Tsunade said. Someone is always looking for you, Shizune said. No, I mean here in Port City. Someone knows we are here, Tsunade said. How could anyone have found you? Shizune asked. Hey miss, you can't bring your pet in here, yelled the doorman. You won't stop me, and it's not a pet, Kurenai replied. Miss, I will ask you again to remove your pet or be thrown out, the guard said. By who? Kurenai asked. By us. Kurenai turned and saw 3 missing nins who was hired to work at this casino. Really, you can try, Kurenai said. Don't say we didn't warn you, one said. They disappeared and attacked Kurenai from different sides. Kurenai went through some hand signs. Flower petals escaped, Kurenai said. Her and the kitsune dissolved in pink flower petals. Tree binging of death, she caught all 3 of them in the genjutsu. Hold it, Kurenai, don't them, Tsunade said, walking up to them. Tsunade-sama, I need to talk to you, Kurenai said. Why, and stop calling me sama, I hate that, it's bad enough Shizune, who is like a daughter to me, won't stop calling me that, Tsunade asked. Kurenai ended her genjutsu. Let's get out of here, it's kind of hostile, she said. You think you just was about to the 3 guards, Tsunade said. They shouldn't have got in my way, Kurenai said. Let's go. And how do you summon kitsunes? The only person who could summon them is dead, Tsunade said. Well, I can't tell you that just yet, but I am here to ask you to come back to Konoha, Kurenai said. No, I'm not going back there. Didn't that snake tell Anko that already? Tsunade said. Yes, but please, this is important, Kurenai said. Well, tell me, Tsunade said. I can't, I'm forbidden to say it, but please trust me, I can make it worth your while, Kurenai said. How? Tsunade asked. I'm not here for the Hokage, but Hiyashi Hyuga officially he wants you back to train Hinata, Ino, Tenten, and Hana in medics because of the rate they are learning from the scrolls. He fears that there is no one in Konoha that's able to teach them the things they need to succeed in the area, Kurenai said. I understand all that, but how is this worth my while? Tsunade asked. Aside from having 4 medics you know will be able to handle any situation, Hiyashi will pay off all your department you collected from the last 6 years, Kurenai said. All of it? Tsunade asked. All of it, Kurenai said. I won't have to go into my family's savings, Tsunade asked. Not unless you want to, Kurenai said. Tsunade thought about it. Is that his only motivation? Tsunade asked. Kurenai breathed slowly. No, I have a reason for you to come back also, but I can't tell you, it's more of a surprise, Kurenai said. Tsunade thought about it again. Why not Tsunade-sama only for a few months to train these girls and to see her surprise, and you get your debt cleared, Shizune said. Fine, but only until the end of the year, Tsunade said. Thank you, this will be the best birthday present ever, Kurenai said. Birthday present? Tsunade asked. Kurenai's eyes widen. Shit, I have to go shopping, I need a present, damn it, what to get him, Kurenai said frantically. Calm down, Kurenai, we can go shopping here, they have great trade shops here, the kitsune said. You're right, you don't mind going shopping so I can get my Otouto a present to you, Kurenai asked. Not at all, we will pick him up a present also, Tsunade said. Thank you. Also, he is training to become a shinobi, Kurenai said. On October 1st, the 3 kunoichis was walking up to the gate. Tsunade, can you and Shizune put up a genjutsu until tomorrow? Kurenai asked. Why? Tsunade asked. I told you that you was a surprise for not only my Otouto but also for the girls, they look up to you as a hero, Kurenai said. Fine. Tsunade said. Also, my Otouto has trust issues and is terrified of adults. I'll tell you his story after you meet him, Kurenai said. Okay. Tsunade said. Oh, and don't make any notion that you know anyone here, act like you're just meeting everyone to help sell the idea, Kurenai said. Fine, stop with all the rules, Tsunade said. They walked up to the gate. Hello Shikaku, they are with me. They are extended family here for a visit, Kurenai said. Shikaku looked at them then shrugged. Me and the family will be over at 6 tomorrow for the party, he said. Okay, don't forget to remind everyone else please, Kurenai said. Don't worry, I won't, Shikaku said. Really, you know how important this is, Kurenai said. I know now, get going before you draw too much attention, Shikaku said. They walked to Kurenai's house. Otouto Heim, I'm home, she yelled. Oh, I forgot me and Anko are kind of dating, she whispered. We didn't need to know that, Tsunade said. Ni-chan. Naruto ran through the kitchen from the yard and jumped on her in a hug. Welcome home Heim, Anko said. Hi Otouto, I missed you too. Hi Heim, Kurenai said. Ni-chan. Who are they? Naruto asked. Everyone frowned at that stutter. Otouto, what have we told you about that? Kurenai said. But Ni-chan, he whined, still carefully watching the two. Heim, you know how he is around people, especially people he don't know, Anko said. Kurenai sighed. They are my extended family here for a visit, Kurenai said. Come on, take him away so I can set up, Anko said. Fine, want to go to the park or visit your friends Otouto? Kurenai asked. Naruto frowned. The park Ni-chan, Naruto said. Kurenai looked at Anko. They all was busy, you know, she hinted towards the decorations. Oh well, let's go. You can come with us or stay, Kurenai said. The four walked to the park. The three kunoichis sat on the bench as Naruto played by himself. Tsunade frowned. She was having a hard time keeping her genjutsu strong. What the hell? She asked Kurenai. I told you it would be worth your while to come back, and the Hokage did forbid me and Anko for mentioning him to you or Jiraiya, Kurenai said. How long? Tsunade left her sentence off. 5 years until I finally snapped and had enough, and I wasn't the only one. You will meet the rest tomorrow, Kurenai said. 5 years? Tsunade asked. I know, but I had to save up money and I'm only 18. What, did you want me to take care of him while I was a genin with no parents or money? Kurenai asked. No, you did the right thing, but Kakashi, Tsunade asked. The council kept him out the village as much as possible, Kurenai said. They went back to watching Naruto in silence. He was enjoying himself until a Sasuke walked up to the park. Damn it, Kurenai cursed. What? Shizune asked. Hey Dobi, you're in my way, move, Sasuke said. Naruto recoiled and moved away as fast as possible. PPPP, please LLLLL, leave me alone, he said through tears. Why should I? He asked, getting ready to punch him. Touch my Otouto and you will have more problems than you can deal with, Kurenai said. What, you're going to hit me? He taunted. No, I will, Tenten said, punching Sasuke in the face, knocking him down. If I ever see you trying to bully my friend, I will make you pay, she threatened. Do you know who I am? He said, standing up and getting in her face. The prototype jerkass and bastard of the Uchiha clan, she said. Why you? He hit her in the face. Tenten got up and jumped at him, punching him in the stomach. Tenten then grabbed her scrolls. She was about to summon her weapons when she was stopped. Sasuke, next time I won't stop her, not get out of my sight, Kurenai demanded. Sasuke got up and ran off. Otouto, you okay? She asked. Ni-chan www, what did I do ttt to him? He cried out through his tears. Nothing, Otouto. He is just doing this because he knows you're afraid of him, Kurenai said, getting on her knees and pulling him onto her lap. Ni-chan got you, you're safe, she said. Kurenai, is he going to be okay? Tenten asked, worried about him. Yes, thank you Tenten for what you did. I can't hit him no matter how much I want to. Kurenai said. I'll do it anytime I see him messing with my friend. I worked too hard for him to have confidence in himself for that jerkass to ruin it, Tenten said. We all did. All we can hope is that one day Naruto gets the confidence to stand up to him like we know he can, Kurenai said. Well, I have to get home for dinner. Otousan is bringing me over at 6 inches, Tenten said. Okay, thank you again, Kurenai said. Tenten ran off. Now you see why the Hokage was so terrified to tell you and Jiraiya about him, Kurenai said. Tsunade was seething, ready to rip a few Uchihas apart for what she just saw. Only a few hours. Tsunade hold it in for a few hours. She mumbled to herself, let's go back to your house. If I stay out here any longer someone is going to die, she said. That wouldn't be a bad idea. That damn Sasuke always find a way to know where he is and bully on him. He only does it when he knows someone who can hit him ain't around too, Kurenai said. I see why you didn't want to come back. Not even 2 hours and I want to someone, Shizune said. Oh, tomorrow you're going to want to destroy this damn village, Kurenai said. They walked back to the house. Anko had finished setting up the yard. Hey, I'm finished. She looked at Naruto. That damn Uchiha, she asked. Kurenai just nodded, walking upstairs to his room. I swear I can't wait till he put that bastard in his place, Anko said. The next day of Naruto's birthday he was afraid to come out his room. Kurenai literally had to force him to wash up and get dressed. He did request to wear the all-white outfit she bought him. They played card games for the next few hours. The time of the party came and soon all the kids and every adult he started to trust was there. They was sitting in the backyard waiting for him to open his present. Hold on, Otouto, before you open your presents I have a special present for you, Kurenai said. Really, Nichan W, what's that? He asked. Well, you know those two people I was with, the two I said was my extended relatives, she said. Why yes, he said. Well, they are not my relatives, she said. The two walked up. Well, at first we didn't want to come, but with persuasion and a promise by Hiashi Hyuga we decided to come, Tsunade said. What's TT the SS surprise? Naruto asked. Well, Shizune ended her genjutsu. I'm Shizune, the apprentice of Tsunade the Sennin, Shizune said. Tsunade cancelled her genjutsu. And I'm Tsunade of the Sennins, the world's best medic, she said. Naruto's eyes widened with fear. They just. He didn't finish his sentence as he passed out. Tsunade's sweat dropped. Not the welcome I wanted, she said. Well, due to his past it's expected, Kurenai said. How did you get her back? The Hokage said. It was harder than I would have liked, but due to her natural curious nature and a promise I made it possible, Kurenai said. Why do I have the feeling I want like this? Hiashi said. Well, you're the one who said do anything I can and you don't care how I do it as long as I get her back, Kurenai said. Okay, what was this promise? Hiashi asked. That you pay off all her debt from the last 6 years, Kurenai said. What, are you serious? Hiashi yelled out, scaring Hinata. Hey, you should have been more careful in your description, Kurenai said. Wow, that's what it took to get you here. How long you're staying? The Hokage asked. For the rest of the year, Tsunade said. Wait a minute, I'm not paying that all. Hokage, since you're part of the reason she left and was so hard to get back, I think you should at least pay 40% of the debt, Hiashi said. What, no way, this was a mission you sent her on, you have to pay for it, the Hokage said. I don't care, but I'm not teaching anyone medics until it gets paid off, Tsunade said. Fine, this is something Hinata wants, so I will pay it, Hiashi said. Sensei, I will teach the medics at the hospital if you pay me, Tsunade said. How much? The Hokage asked. The equivalent of what his medical bills was past 6 years, Tsunade said. What, that was over 5 million, the Hokage said. 5 million, impossible. He is not big enough to even have a bill of over 100,000, Tsunade said. Well, I'm no medic and the report for him came to 5 million, the Hokage said. Well, will you take it or not? Tsunade asked. Fine, the Hokage said. Gaki, you okay? Anko asked. Nay, TT, they JJJ just changed LL like TT the SSS, spinning eyes, Naruto said. Should have mentioned that for you not to do that, Kurenai cursed. More Uchiha's doing? Shizune asked. Yes, he is terrified of the Sharingan, or any Uchiha for that matter, Kakashi said. Well, let's finish opening presents we have tomorrow for that story. This is his first birthday party and I want it to be perfect, Kurenai said. Open mine first, Gaki, Anko said. Naruto tore the paper off slowly and carefully. Once it was off, he opened the lid off the box. Inside was an all-black shinobi outfit complete with the belt and the straps for 2 katanas on the belt. Nat this is great, Naruto said, hugging Anko. Mine next, Kurenai said. Naruto also opened this one slowly and carefully. The present was a katana. Nichan, he asked, confused. Well, every great shinobi has a weapon, but that katana was once used by the very first Uzumaki. It cost me $1 million to buy, Kurenai said. Thank Yun Nichan, he said, hugging her. From Yugo he got 2 full sets of shurikens, kunais, and senbons and a promise to teach him to use them. Hinata got him a book on different seals. Tenten got him staff, but this staff allowed him to make it 3 feet long and came with a case to put on his back. She promised to show him to use it. Hana gave him a training manual on how to train different types of animals to be partners. It even had a section on kitsunes which she bookmarked for him. Shino got him a coat and a pair of glasses like his. Shikamaru got him a chess game and a book that told him how to play. Choji got him some recipe books. The parents gave him a pass that allowed him to come into their compound anytime he needed to. The Hokage gave him a replica of the Hokage's hat and robe. He immediately put it on. Of course it was way too big for him. Shizune gave him a scroll that told him how to train in whatever element he was, which was promptly took by Anko along with his weapons until he was ready for them. Tsunade got him shinobi survival kit. Kurenai walked into the Hokage's office. Hokage, how has things been since Tsunade came back? She asked. Good. She completely changed the hospital. Everyone who wouldn't treat Naruto as any other patient was fired and had their medical cards taken. Now it's mostly filled with Anbu for now until she finished training the new medics, the Hokage said. Good. I've been thinking over the last month, and I want to take Otouto outside the village for a training mission with Haim, she said. Why should I allow this? The Hokage asked. Because Otouto can't get trained properly here when he is afraid of everyone, Kurenai said. And taking him out the village will be better, the Hokage asked. Well, it will at least give him a fair chance to learn everything he should have learned. Besides, he could do without the glares that the villagers are giving him. If you allow us to take him outside the village for 2 years until he is old enough to go to the academy with no one to judge him unfairly, it could increase his confidence, Kurenai said. The Hokage thought about it. If I agree to this mission, you must send me a report every month, and you will take an Anbu with you, he said. Kurenai thought. Deal, but I get to pick the Anbu, she said. Okay, he replied. Kakashi Hatake, she replied. Why him and not Yugo? The Hokage asked. We need someone who can teach him ninjutsu and more taijutsu styles along with speed, and no one is better in all those areas than him, Kurenai said. Okay, I'll have him meet you at your house later tonight so you can leave, the Hokage said. Also, can we bring special Junin Gecko Hayate with us? She asked. Why? The Hokage asked. Well, we need someone to teach Otouto to use his katana, and who better than Konoha's own kenjutsu expert, Kurenai said. Okay, I'll have him meet you also, the Hokage said. Thank you. Kurenai then walked out. Haim, Kurenai called out entering the house. Quiet, the Gaki is sleeping, Anko said walking downstairs. Oh, well, get your clothes packed, we are going on a mission, Kurenai said. What kind? Anko asked. A training mission. I was able to get the Hokage to agree to let us take Otouto outside the village to train him for 2 years, at which time he will enter the academy, Kurenai said. So it's just us 3? Anko asked. No, Kakashi and Hayate are coming also, Kurenai said. Why not Yugo? Anko asked. Well, I was going to ask for her, but I think having those 2 will help more with kenjutsu, taijutsu, speed, and ninjutsu. We can teach him to use a kunai until we come back, at which time Yugo could teach him to use other weapons, Kurenai said. I see. Good idea, Anko said. I'll pack his clothes. We are leaving tonight, Kurenai said. A few hours later Kakashi, Hayate, Tsunade, and Shizune came to the house. I heard you talked Sensei into letting you take the Gaki away from the village for 2 years, Tsunade said. Yes, it's a training mission, Kurenai said. That's good. I'm going to stay here for those 2 years to train the 4 kunoichis and the medics. It's taking longer than I thought, Tsunade said. That will be good for them. 2 years of training with you, Anko said. Yes, I'm going to teach those 4 everything I can in those 2 years, even my super strength, but I want Shizune to go with you just in case you need a medic, Tsunade said. What are you sure? We haven't been apart since you took me as your apprentice when I was 12 inches, Shizune said. I'm sure. You had been training with me for 5 years, there is nothing else I can teach you and it's time to make a name for yourself as a medic, Tsunade said. Okay, I'll go. I'm going to miss you, Kasen, Shizune said, hugging her, shocking Tsunade. I'm going to miss you too, Tsunade said. Okay, well, we have to be going. We was supposed to leave an hour ago, Kurenai said. Good thing I packed Shizune things when she was still at the hospital, Tsunade said, pulling out a scroll. Tsunade, you don't need to stay at a hotel anymore, you can live here until we come back, Kurenai said as Anko went to grab Naruto, who was still sleeping, and they all left. Naruto expected to wake up in his warm bed, walk downstairs and see one of his Nichans cooking breakfast, but instead he woke up on the uncomfortable ground. He slowly got up and looked around and saw he was in a tent with his Nichans. He crawled out and found himself in the middle of the forest, so he went back in and shocked Anko, who he found out was the easiest to wake. After she mumbled a what to him, I have to go to the bathroom, he said. Anko opened her eyes. Come on, Gaki, she crawled out the tent with him. Why are we not at home? He asked. We are going on a vacation for 2 years with some friends. During this time we will get to train you properly, Anko said, leading him further into the forest. She stopped. Here you go, Gaki. Just go here, she told him, and turned around so he can have some privacy. After he was done he walked to Anko. I'm done, nay, he said. Okay, Gaki, let's get back, Anko said. Walking back and crawling into the tent, try and get some more sleep, she told him. Later in the day Naruto was following Kurenai while listening to Anko as she told him exactly what they would be doing during the trip. As he listened he kept an eye on Hayate, Kakashi, and Shizune, who he still didn't trust, and close to Anko. So Gaki, is there anything you don't get about what we are going to be doing? Anko asked. So I have learned something from them, Naruto asked. Well, yes, why? Anko asked. Well, one looks like he is going to drop and die, the other only has one eye, and the last, well, do I have to learn medics? Naruto asked. Not that he didn't like Shizune, just not trust her yet, and the thought of learning medics sounded too boring. Well, yes, you will learn medics, Anko said. Why, they sound boring, Naruto said. Don't worry, you will only learn the basics. No one is going to make you learn anything you don't want to do, but you need to learn medics because it has saved your life a number of times, Anko said. Okay, nay, but what's Kenjutsu? He asked. Well, you remember that katana I took from you? She asked. He nodded. Well, you're going to learn to use it. The type fighting used is called Kenjutsu, but the actual technique you will learn depend on Hayate, Anko said. Okay, so Siki is good at Kenjutsu? Naruto asked. He is an expert, Anko said. Okay, do I have to learn another taijutsu? What wrong with the one you are teaching me? Naruto asked. Well, nothing, except I'm not supposed to be teaching it to you. The council banned anyone from learning it. The reason I taught you is, well, I just wanted to, Anko said. Oh, so will I keep learning it? Naruto asked. Of course, you're going to learn snake style and any other style Kakashi thinks he can teach you, Anko said. What style can he teach me? Naruto asked. Well, I can teach you the style used by the Yondaime, Kakashi said. Really? Naruto asked. Of course, he was my sensei. He had me copy and learn it just to teach it to you, Kakashi said. Why would he want me to learn his style? Naruto asked. I think it's time to tell Otouto about his parents, Kurenai said. Okay, should I go first? Kakashi asked. Yes, Kurenai said. Well, Naruto, your Otousan was Minato Namikaze. He was also known as the Yondaime and Konoha's Yellow Flash, and my sensei. Kakashi stopped and looked at the sky. So I'm the son of the Yondaime? Naruto asked. Yes, but don't tell anyone just yet. We don't want this into the wrong hands, Anko said. Well, your Otousan was a great man and even better shinobi. He always put his friends before himself. He was so excited when he found out he was going to have a son. But when Kyuubi attacked, he quickly sealed all his jutsus up and gave it to me to teach you when I thought you was ready. He also had me copy his taijutsu style with my Sharingan and learn it so I can teach you, Kakashi said. Why didn't anyone ever tell me? Naruto asked. Because everyone thinks the Yondaime is a god and him being sealing Kyuubi in you. They blame you for his death, Kakashi said. What about my cousin? Naruto asked. Well, your cousin was Kushina Uzumaki. She was my sensei and taught me everything about genjutsu. She taught me all the genjutsus that she knew, and she was as excited about having you that a cousin can be. After you was born, she disappeared. Most thought she was, but I don't think so. I have a feeling that she was kidnapped, Kurenai said. Who would want to kidnap my cousin? Naruto asked. A lot of people. Considering she was considered to be a genjutsu expert and was the last of the Uzumakis who are all genjutsu experts and kenjutsu experts, Kurenai said. So you will teach me genjutsu like my cousin? Naruto asked. I will try, Kurenai said. Gaki, you won't be able to learn genjutsu because the seal lets too much of my chakra through for you to ever be able to control correct, Kyuubi said. Nichan, Kyuubi said too much of his chakra goes through the seal to control correct and use genjutsu, Naruto said. Ask him, is there a way to get rid of the chakra to get it to a level where you can control it correct, Kurenai said. Tell her the only way to do that is by constantly releasing my chakra, Kyuubi said. How do I do that? Naruto asked. Well, one way is sage training, but you need to be a genin to even be considered for that. The other way is by using my chakra to keep your new Kekkei Genkei active, Kyuubi said. Kyuubi said, I can do it by sage training, but I need to be a genin to be considered for that. The other way is by using his chakra to keep my Kekkei Genkei active, Naruto said. Kekkei Genkei, I wasn't aware his parents had a bloodline, Shizune said. They don't. Naruto got it from a deal we made with Kyuubi. Basically his senses are increased and his speed is increased, and he gets Kyuubi eyes like a dujutsu, Kurenai said. Well, I think he should do it if this gets him better control of his chakra, then why not keep them active, Anko said. That can be a great asset to have his Kekkei Genkei active all the time, but do his dujutsu have to be active also, Kakashi asked. Kyuubi said no. The dujutsu can only be activated by my chakra, not his, so I can use his chakra to keep everything else active, burning all the extra without burning my own chakra, Naruto said. Good. Then activate it and keep it active. We will put you through control training before we start your real training, Kurenai said. When do we start? Shizune asked. As soon as possible, Kurenai said. Let's wait until we get to a hotel. That way we can put up seals so no one can sense his chakra or hear the training, Anko said. Later in the day they arrived in the first village they was stopping at. It was a small village. After getting a hotel they immediately put up some seals. Okay Naruto, I'm going to start your control training, Shizune said. What do I do first? Naruto asked. First you know how to access your chakra, right? Shizune asked. Yes. Naruto said. Good. Now focus it to the bottom of your feet and walk up the wall and across the ceiling and down the other side. Keep doing this until it becomes so easy it feels as if you're not even doing anything, she said. Hinata walked up to Naruto's house and knocked on the door. Tsunade opened it and let her in. Where is Naruto-san? She asked. Gon. Kurenai, Anko, Shizune, Kakashi, and Hayate took him on a training trip for the next 2 years, Tsunade said. 2 years? Hinata asked. Yes. During this time you, Tenten, Hana, and Ino will be taught by me and I have high expectations, don't let me down, Tsunade said. Really? Hinata asked. Yes, now let's go, we need to pick up the other three and head to class, Tsunade said. After getting Hana, Ino, and Tenten explained why Naruto was not in the village, she led them to the training class she was teaching. Okay everyone, depending on how fast you learn you can be out of this class in as short as a few months. Now everyone go get a take and fish, Tsunade said. Yugo walked into the class. Tsunade, can I pull Hinata, Hana, Ino, and Tenten out of the class, she whispered. Why, I'm in the middle of their training, Tsunade said. I know, but I want to train them in weapons and other things, and the only time I'm free is during the morning. I start my ambush shift at 1 and work all day, Yugo said. Fine, I will just train them at the house I'm staying at, Tsunade said. Thank you, Yugo said. Don't worry, Hinata, Hana, Ino, and Tenten follow Yugo, your training is over, Tsunade said. They got up and walked out with Yugo. Don't look so sad, I'm training you in the mornings and you will continue medic training afterwards since this is the only time I'm free to train you 4 inches, she said. Train us in what? Hana asked. Weapons, speed, taijutsu, ninjutsu, expanding your chakra, and basic elemental training, Yugo said. Elemental training, ain't that only for chunins and up? Hinata asked. No, the Uchihas have been doing it since they learned to use chakra. Most large shinobi families start element training early, so by the time they are genin they already have the basics down and just need to learn jutsus for that element, Yugo told them. It has been 2 weeks since they arrived at the hotel and Shizune was putting Naruto through chakra control meant for a medic in training. All the while had him reading about the different organs in the body and how they work. When he wasn't with Shizune he was with Anko learning snake style. He also learned to use his bloodline senses and how to filter out what he didn't want to hear or smell. Kurenai, Kakashi, and Hayate all enjoyed the free time they had and was always gone from the hotel, but every time she returned Kurenai always brought something back for Naruto. Now Shizune was standing in front of him with everyone else sitting around. Naruto, you now have enough control to start your real training. I'm going to start teaching you the basic medics, but you will still have to know how everything in the human body works. When we are done with this training you will be able to heal anything up to broken bones, she said. Fine, but it sounds boring, Naruto said. It may be boring, but when you save one of your friends' lives because of this training it will be worth it, Shizune said. I guess you're right, Naruto said. I am, but we won't start that training just yet. I'm going to the hospital to make sure they don't need any extra help, Shizune said, then walked out. Well, I guess I can start your kenjutsu training, since you've been stuck in this room for 2 weeks only leaving out for a few minutes a day. Let's find a place to train, Hayate said, leading Naruto out the room. Well, since Hayate is starting his training first, I guess we can roam around the village to find something to do, Kakashi said. Good idea. Any ideas? Anko said. Let's see if they have any missions that needs to be done. We have to make money somehow during this 2 years, Kurenai said. A week later Anko walked into the room. Hey, I found a mission that is paying good and will get us out of this town, she said. What kind of mission? Kurenai asked. Well, there is a village where 60% of the population became sick for no reason and nothing the doctors there are doing is working. They specifically request a highly skilled medic. This could be your chance to get out of Tsunade's shadow as a medic, Shizune, Anko said. You're right, let's go there. We can't let those people die without trying to help, Shizune said. They arrived in the village after 2 days of traveling and Shizune immediately went to the hospital. She walked up to the reception desk. Excuse me, she said. Sorry miss, but if you're not seriously injured or sick you will have to go to the temporary hospital across the street, the lady behind the desk said. No, you misunderstand. I'm not here because I'm sick. I'm a medic nin and my friend told me about over half the people here becoming sick, Shizune said. The lady looked at her. What are your qualifications and who was your trainer? She asked. I was taught by Tsunade of the Sennin since I was 12 and I'm now 17 if that's enough qualifications, Shizune said. The lady nodded. I have to ask because the last few medics who came through wasn't qualified and caused more harm than good, she said. No problem, just take me to who is in charge, Shizune said. Follow me, the lady said. She led Shizune through the hospital to an office and opened the door. Shiguri, there is a medic here to see you, she said. And what makes her better than the last? He asked. She was trained by Tsunade of the Senins. She is more qualified than you are, she replied. Send her in, Shiguri said. Shizune walked in the room. You're here about the mission request I sent out, he asked. Yes, she said. Well, let's get started, he replied. A month later, Tsunade was sitting in the living room reading the morning paper. She looked at the headline, Medic Shizune stopped and cured virus in Plano village, and smiled. Shizune walked inside the hotel they rented and fell back on her bed. This was a tiring month, she said. I know, Siki and One Eye are even bigger slave drivers than my Nichans are, Naruto said from the couch. Well, at least you're getting more confidence in yourself and not stuttering, Shizune said. So you saved all those people? He asked. Yes, it was long and hard, and the fact that this village has no medical herbs whatsoever made it harder. I kept having to send the other 3 to surrounding villages to get what I needed, Shizune said. So was it worth it, all the work I mean? Naruto asked. Shizune looked at him. Naruto, anytime I save someone's life, the work put into it was worth it. I would have done this mission even if I wasn't being paid. This is what I always wanted to do. This is what I trained so hard for. What would the point of spending 5 years of my life training not to enjoy this feeling before? Nothing, it would all be a waste, she said. Naruto looked at her. So you always wanted to help others? He asked. Yup. My parents died because their doctors didn't know what was wrong with them. From then on, I promised I would work hard to help anyone I can, and if I change just one life, then my training paid off, she said. So that's why you want me to train in medics even if it is the basics? Naruto asked. Part of the reason. Also, when you're around people you don't know, you can only trust yourself, and if you can't heal yourself, then you're as good as dead. I know you have Kyuubi and he is always healing you, but you can't depend on Kyuubi all the time, she said. I think I understand, Naruto said. Don't worry, you will understand it completely when you get older. But I want to ask, what is your motivation? Why do you want to become a shinobi? Why should we continue to train you? She asked him. Naruto thought about this. He was never asked a question like this. He didn't know how to respond, so he just looked down thinking about it and how he could answer this question. I don't know. I never thought about it. No one ever asked it to me. I started training because Nichan wanted me to, and I want to be like her, he said. Don't worry, Naruto, think about it. When you know the answer, tell me. You will know when it's time for you to know the answer, Shizune told him. Know the answer to what? Kurenai asked, walking into the hotel room with Anko, Kakashi, and Hayate. Well, me and Naruto was talking and I asked him what's his motivation and why he wants to become a shinobi. All he knew was you told him you was going to train him and he wants to be like you, Kurenai, Shizune said. Kurenai nodded and sat on the couch. I see. Well, Otouto, when you figure out the answer to that question, you will become a real shinobi, and no one can tell you the answer as it is different for everyone, but you will find the answer soon, she told him. How will I know when I found the answer? He asked. Well, it could be you wanting to protect someone, Kurenai said. Or you wanting to prove you're not what people think you are, Anko said. Or wanting to get out of your parents' shadow, Kakashi said. Or wanting to defend someone who can't defend themselves, Shizune said. Or it could be all them. We never know, as it was different for us, and rest assured when it happens you will know, Hayate said. A year passed since they left Konoha and started training Naruto. After the 2 years he spent under Anko, he had completed snake style and was learning the taijutsu Kakashi was teaching him quicker than Kakashi thought he would. He had the basics of Kenjutsu and was working with Hayate to create his own style. Kurenai taught him the basics of Genjutsu and how to break them and some basic practice Genjutsus. Shizune was having the hardest time teaching Naruto because of his short attention span to anything that had him sitting and listening to lectures. Soon Shizune decided to give Naruto a hands-on experience and found out he learned what she was trying to lecture to him faster by doing it than listening to her. Naruto's speed and strength increased. He also started basic elemental training. Kakashi also taught him a few academy-level ninjutsus and genin-level genjutsus. They walked into a shinobi store to buy Naruto bigger clothes since his was getting small. Naruto looked around and at his clothes, then got a thought. Hey, wait here, I want to try something, he said. Fine, just hurry up, we have training to do, Gaki, Anko said. Naruto ran to the boys section and went through the clothes and grabbed some stuff and into the dressing room. The four adults waited for him to come out. When he came out, they looked at him impressed at his selection. Anko and Kurenai was beaming at his selection of clothes, thinking he was the best-looking 7-year-old. He was wearing some white shinobi boots, a pair of loose white pants with a lot of pockets, an orange long-sleeve shirt. Over the shirt he had on a white sleeveless jacket with a hood. On his pants he had an orange belt. He had a pair of orange-plated fingerless gloves. On his left hip he had his katana hanging. Wow, Otouto, I don't know what to say but wow, Kurenai said. Gaki, you look great. Go pick out more of those clothes, Anko said. Okay, nay, Naruto said, picking up some orange shirts, belts, and gloves, white pants, jackets, and boots. He walked back to them. Hey, you know those glasses I got for my birthday? He asked. Yes, why? Kurenai asked. Can I get them orange and white instead of black? He asked. Sure, Gaki, I'll change them later, Anko said. Kyuubi said I need to learn to use my dujutsu, he said quietly. I agree, you learned from us for a year, we can make room for him to teach you, Kurenai said. He said he can teach me between Nei and one-eyed training, Naruto said. Fine with me, Anko said. Why am I still one eye? Kakashi asked. He calls everyone he likes by a nickname. He hasn't called me Kurenai since the first few days he was with me, Kurenai said. He never called me by my name. I was Snake Lady until he started calling me Nei, Anko said. At least you're not Siki, Hayate said. I guess I got lucky since after 8 months I'm now Onezen and instead of being nameless, Shizune said. Tsunade walked into the Hokage's office. She had spent over 2 years teaching medics to all who wanted to learn. She also completely changed the hospital and now it was better running. She looked at her old sensei. When are they coming back? She asked. Don't know for sure. They was supposed to be back in time for Naruto to start the academy, which began months ago, the Hokage said. 5 months ago to be exact, Tsunade said. Just then a kitsune appeared outside the window. Tsunade opened it. I'm here to give you a report on Kurenai and the rest of them, the kitsune said. Where are they? Tsunade asked. Well, they got stuck in river country. There was a plague that wasing everyone who caught it, the kitsune said. I see. Do they need any help? The Hokage asked. No, Kurenai said they should be back sometime within the next 2 weeks, the kitsune said. Thank you, the Hokage said. A week later, Naruto, Kurenai, Shizune, Anko, Kakashi, and Hayate walked up to the gate. Welcome back everyone, the Chunin said. Good to be back, Kakashi said. Who is the little guy? The Chunin asked. That's the Gaki, Anko said. You mean you brought him back? The Chunin asked. Why would we not bring our Otouto back? Kurenai asked. The Chunin started to think of an excuse. The Hokage is waiting on your arrival, he quickly said. Anko glared at him and led Naruto into the gate. Gaki, your clothes are dirty from the last training we did. You need to change before you go to the academy, she told him. Okay, nay, Naruto said. Let's go home so he can clean himself up before we go see the Hokage, Kurenai said. They walked into the Hokage's office, interrupting the Hokage's and Tsunade's talk. They looked at Naruto and was surprised that he changed his clothes. He was wearing white shinobi boots, loose pants and sleeveless jacket with a hood, with an orange long-sleeve shirt, belt, fingerless gloves, and his sunglasses was in his pocket. Wow, you look great, Tsunade said. Welcome back. How was the trip? The Hokage asked. Well, Naruto learned everything we wanted him to learn and more, Kurenai said. Oh, please explain, the Hokage said. Well, I taught him all the basic genjutsus that Kushina taught me, Kurenai said. He completed snake style, learned about how the basic poisons work and how to counter them, Anko said. He completed the basic level of medics and even helped me save a few people, Shizune said. He learned the taijutsu style of sensei and learned all the academy jutsus I thought he should know and a few genin jutsus, Kakashi said. He have the basics of kenjutsu and started to work on his own style. All he needs to do now is complete his style, which should be done sometime in the next year, Hayate said. Also, he learned to use his bloodline, and is using Kyuubi's chakra to keep all of it active except the dujutsu, Anko said. Bloodline? Tsunade asked. Well, it's part of a deal we made with Kyuubi. Kurenai then told her about the deal. I see, but why do he need to keep it active? Tsunade asked. Because if he don't, then Kyuubi's chakra will interfere with his control. This was the only way to reduce the access chakra from Kyuubi without him walking around with his chakra flaring up, Anko said. Also, he knows about his parents, Kurenai said. How did he take it? The Hokage asked. As well as one would be expected to take learning about his parents, Kurenai said. Well, that's good he knows, but he can't get his inheritance until he becomes a Chunin, the Hokage said. Why the hell not? Anko asked. It's what Minato told me, the Hokage said. Fine, can he start the academy today? Kurenai asked. Yes, but I have to ask why the change in sunglasses, the Hokage asked. Well, it was the Gaki's idea. He picked everything out and he wanted his sunglasses to be orange and white instead of black, and he wears them when he uses his dujutsu so no one will. Well, you know, Anko said. I see, that was smart until he can show people he is not Kyuubi. Well, you can take him to the academy, he has a spot waiting for him, the Hokage said. Kurheim, can you take him? I have to get back to the interrogation and assassination HQ, Anko said, hugging Naruto. Okay, Haim, Kurenai said, leading Naruto out. Iruka walked into the class. Class, before we get started, we have a new student, he said, motioning for Naruto to come in. Naruto walked into the class. He looked around. The first person he saw was a girl who he thought was cute. She was wearing light purple pants, a Chinese-style shirt and had a fan in her hair holding it up, what looked like a fan on her left hip, and a fan in her right hand waving it in front of herself. The second person he noticed was the only blonde girl in the class. She was wearing shinobi dress like his Nichans but dark purple. She had some kind of weapons on both hips but didn't know what they was. The third person scared him a little when he looked at him. He didn't know why, but something told him this guy was bad news. Iruka looked at Naruto. Can you please introduce yourself to the class? He asked, trying to keep his hate out of his voice. My name is NN Naruto Yu Uzumaki. Nice to meet everyone, he said. Hinata and Ino automatically recognized him. Shikamaru, Choji, and Shino also recognized him, but they all kept quiet. Well, find a seat, Iruka said. Naruto looked around and found a seat that was directly next to the only person he knew and went to sit next to her. The day went by pretty smooth until lunch. Naruto didn't have any food or money, so he just sat back against a tree and waited until lunch ended. Sasuke walked up to him. Long time no see, Dobi, he said. W who are you? W what dd do you want? Naruto asked. I just wanted to see you. I have missed you the last 2.5 years, Sasuke said. N no yu didn't idd don't even k no yu, Naruto said. Oh come on, all those beatings I gave you and you don't remember me, Sasuke said. Naruto eyes widen. P please leave me alone, he said. Sasuke smirked. I think not. He then kicked Naruto in the stomach. We have so much to catch up on, Sasuke said. Sasuke kicked him again. When I tell you something you do it. When I talk you listen. When I tell you to give me something, you give it to me, Sasuke said. No IW want, Naruto said. Sasuke punched him. You have no choice in the matter. I'm your superior, your master. You have no opinion except what I tell you. That is, unless you want your little secret about a certain kitsune to get out, Sasuke said, then punched him again and walked away. Naruto just laid there. A few feet away, a Hyuga boy watched the entire thing. Such arrogance will be his downfall. Can't he see that boy was too scared to even talk? He thought, then walked away. He saw Hinata and walked to her. Hinata-sama, he said. Neji-Nisan, I told you stop calling me that, Hinata replied. Neji shrugged. There is a boy by the large swing, he needs to be looked at, he said, then walked away. Hinata, Tenten and Ino walked around to where Neji was talking about. Ain't that Naruto? When did he come back? Tenten asked as Hinata healed him. I don't know, but he just started the academy today, Hinata said. What happened to him? Ino asked. Don't know, maybe Neji knows, I'll ask him in class, Tenten said. The last class of the day was gym. Naruto walked out way behind everyone else when he reached the training ground for the academy. Iruka started talking. Today we will have spars, he said. Do I have tea too? Naruto asked quietly. Yes, Naruto, everyone has to participate, Iruka said. Who wants to go first? Mizuki asked. I will, Sasuke said. Anyone else? Mizuki asked. I'll go, Hinata said. Sorry, academy rules, males and females are not allowed to spar each other, Iruka said. How about the new guy? Sasuke suggested. No tea thanks, Naruto said. Come on Naruto, it's just a spar. Just try your best, Iruka said. Naruto slowly walked up to the front and just stood there. Sasuke got into his stance and smirked at Naruto. Everyone got a bad feeling about this, but most wasn't going to say anything. This isn't fair, we don't even know his skills. Why put him up against Sasuke? Ino asked. What better way to find out his skills? Mizuki asked. Begin, he said. Sasuke ran towards Naruto and threw a punch at him. Naruto dodged and kicked at Sasuke. Sasuke blocked it and was hit by a punch that was unexpected. Everyone looked surprised at the randomness of the move. Sasuke stood up and smirked. Nice hit, now can you take a hit? He asked. He activated his Sharingan and attacked Naruto, who was frozen in his spot. Sasuke kicked and punched him, sending him flying. As soon as Naruto stood back up, he was sent into the air by Sasuke kicking him in the chin. Sasuke jumped after him and was about to kick him in the back of the head but was kicked out the air. Everyone looked surprised at Sasuke being sent flying by something they couldn't see. Sasuke was caught midair, as was Naruto. Anko, why did you attack my Otouto? Itachi asked. Why is he using his Sharingan in an academy spar? Anko asked. That is part of the Uchiha fighting style, Itachi said. So this has nothing to do with the Gaki being terrified of it? Anko asked. So you're accusing my Otouto of cheating? Itachi asked. If the kunai fits, Anko said. That would not be a smart thing to do, Itachi said. What, you're going to punish me? Anko said sarcastically. Exactly, Itachi said. Then come try, Anko said. Fine, Itachi said. Itachi put Sasuke down, and the next thing happened was Anko dodged an attack and jumped back, putting Naruto down. Stay here Gaki, she said. Anko then disappeared and attacked Itachi. There was a clang of kunais and blurs. An Anbu appeared in the middle of the two. Stop this now or I will arrest you both, the Anbu said. Both Anko and Itachi stopped. Good, now what is going on? The Anbu asked. Nothing. Let's go Sasuke, Itachi said. When they was gone, Anko went to Naruto. Gaki, you okay? She asked. Wym me? Why do ho only be bully on me? Naruto asked. Come on, let's get you home and cleaned up, Anko said. Hey, class ain't over, Iruka said. Anko looked at him. Why didn't you stop what the Uchiha was trying to do? You know if he landed his attack it could have him, she asked. Hey, this was a spar and I'm not to interfere unless it is obvious that one can't defend himself, Iruka said. So why didn't you stop it? Anko asked. Because he was able to defend himself, Iruka said. No, he wasn't, and you know it, Anko yelled at him. Iruka is right, he was able to defend himself. Why he didn't was his fault, Mizuki said. Anko, it's pointless to try and convince them he wasn't able to defend himself, the Anbu said. Anko arrived at the house with Naruto in her arms. She walked into the kitchen. The Anbu was following her the entire time. Anko sat Naruto down. You hungry, Gaki? She asked. Yes, he said. Hey Yugo, can you do something for me? Anko asked. The Anbu took off her mask. Of course, she said. Train the Gaki in weapons. We taught him to throw a kunai and shuriken, but can you teach him everything else and help refine his throwing motion? She asked. Okay, she said. Tsunade and Shizune walked in. Hello, how is everyone? Tsunade asked. Just great. Not even a day back and the Uchiha is already picking on him, Anko said. Damn, why don't he just fight him back? Tsunade asked. He is still too afraid of the Sharingan, Anko said. Oh, I wish there was something I could do, but I have to get going. I was in this village too long, I'm not ready to be back here all the time yet, Tsunade said. We will come visit sometimes, and for every birthday, Shizune said. That's fine. Did you make any money while here? Anko asked. Of course I didn't teach those lessons for free, and now with my debt paid off I'm free to go where I please, Tsunade said. You promised you wouldn't gamble so much, Shizune said. I know. Let's go, we are wasting daylight, Tsunade said. As time went by, Naruto was having a hard time making friends, mainly because every time he would get the courage to talk to someone, Sasuke would come up and ruin it by doing something to embarrass him. Eventually Naruto was able to make another friend with Shino simply because he ran into him after school one day while waiting for Kurenai. Their relationship wasn't a talkative one because Shino was naturally quiet and Naruto was too scared to talk, but they was becoming good friends. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Naruto got used to being around Shino and was able to talk a little more. Hinata wasn't so used to it. She thought Shino was nice, but his bugs creeped her out. Soon Shino started to teach him about different bugs and they started to train together. They was in the middle of the second year when Naruto got the courage to try and talk to Ino. He walked up to her at lunch with Hinata and Shino behind him. Excuse me, he said. Ino turned and smiled. Yes, she said. C-CC can WES sit W with YU, he asked. She was cut off by Naruto getting hit with balloon that had paint in it. Naruto looked around then ran away before anyone could say something. Shino sighed, while Hinata looked to where he ran off to. Shino saw Sasuke and walked over to him. Sasuke, we need to talk, he said. Sasuke looked at him. I don't need to talk to you, he said. Well, listen and listen well. If you don't stop bullying on Naruto, I will have to force you, Shino said. Like you could, Sasuke said. Shino pushed his sunglasses up on his nose. Like I said, cease these stupid games on my friend, he then walked away. Sasuke, if you don't leave Naruto-san alone I will destroy you, Hinata said and ran off to where Naruto ran to try and find him. Naruto ran until he was out of sight from the schoolyard and sat down by a tree and pulled his legs up close to him and stayed there not moving. He didn't know how long he was there, but when he decided to move it was too dark for him to see and he didn't know which way to go. He was scared because he was lost and didn't have any way to contact his Nichans. He pulled his sunglasses out of his pocket and put them on, activating his Dujutsu. It became brighter and he looked around. He still didn't know which way to go, so he just stayed there hoping his Nichans would come for him soon. About an hour later Naruto heard noises and looked up. The noise was getting closer and Naruto pulled out his katana and was ready in case he needed to defend himself. As the noise got closer he got more and more nervous. Soon a kitsune came out into his view. Naruto sighed and put his weapon away. He slowly walked up to the small kitsune and patted its head. Gaki, why are you here? Everyone is worried about you, the kitsune said. Naruto looked confused. You can talk? He asked. Of course, did you forget that Kurenai summoned me when we got back to the village? The kitsune asked. Kyuubi? Naruto asked. Yes, now let's get back before Anko destroy the village. Looking for you, Kyuubi said. Naruto followed Kyuubi out the forest. I thought you didn't want to be seen by people, he said. I don't, that's why it took so long to find you. I can lead you to the village, but you on your own after that, Kyuubi said. They arrived to the academy play area and Kyuubi ran back into the forest. Naruto looked around and snuck out and ran across the academy. Two snakes spotted him and one puffed away while the other continued to follow him. Naruto ran until he was hidden behind a building. He didn't like being out this late, it brought back memories he tried so hard to forget. He made it a few blocks from the academy when he found himself surrounded by some drunk people. They looked at him with disgust. Why the two hottest kunoichis in Konoha look after this little demon? I will never know, a Junin said. I'm J just T trying T to G get H home, Naruto said. You're not going anywhere, the Junin said. My N Nichans GGTA angry W when T they D don't K no W where I am, Naruto said. No one knows where you are, so they won't miss you for a few more minutes, a Chunin said. Stay away from him, the snake said, coming to protect Naruto. A summon? Getting past you is easy, the Chunin aide. Try getting past us, Anko said, jumping behind the snake with Kurenai, Yugo, Kakashi, Hayate, and Hiyashi. Not only are they drunk, but they broke a law by mentioning you know what, Kurenai said. Should we them? Anko asked. No, arrest them, the Hokage said from the roof on top of them. An Anbu squad dropped down and arrested the 10. Gaki, where the hell was you and why are you covered in paint? Anko yelled at him.